Hey there, everybody. Hey, Nikki. I don't know if you're still here, but I see your comment. Happy Friday, everybody. We're going to talk about these budgets today. I was getting ready to start my October budget, just writing down my budget a couple days ago, and I was like, you know what? I know a couple people just said they were going to, hey, Lashes, hey, Urban, said that they were going to do a budget for September. And I'm like, let me check in and see how the people's did, what they budget. How y'all doing? How you doing, Lashes? So, yeah. And congratulations, Urban, on getting to that 500. It should have happened sooner. But nonetheless, we're here now. But yeah, guys, so we're gonna let a few people come in. I need to stop smacking. I catch myself doing that when I be listening to the replay of some of my pre-recorded stuff, and I'll be like, why do I do that? So yeah, y'all, I literally got home at like 5 till 5, and I was like, I just did it again, but I was like, hey TT, I was like, I gotta get ready for my live. We at my job, we are moving to a different building, our particular office, not the whole building. And so, hey, David, um, I know I do. I be catching myself doing that. Um, so we are packing. The movers are supposed to be there Wednesday to get all our stuff from our offices to move to the new building. And let's just say I have not packed. I've packed some. I packed some stuff today. It's stressful. So I left work a little later than normal and got home a little later than normal. So yeah, but I hope everybody's Friday is going well so far. Mine is going. It's not going bad. I'm just overwhelmed with this move. And it's not just me, it's probably everyone in management there because we are running around like chickens with our heads cut off because we're trying to get our stuff done, yet we still have teams to manage. So we have to stop what we're doing to take care of things for them. And I'm like, and then to hear some of them complain, it's like, because you always gonna have some employees that just nothing makes them happy. About tax lien, where you learned about tax liens at? Lashes, you don't, what you need to know about tax liens because you shouldn't be dealing with any. Um, mm-mm. See, Nightbug cutting up already. Me too, Lashes. One thing I told one of my employees today, because she's like, I just did it again. But anyway, she's like, why didn't we just stay another month? Now, mind you, we work the industry I work in. It's not really government, but we're overseen by the government. So our fiscal year is from October 1st through September 30th. So our leases go from that time period as well. And oh, you see, I'm gonna need to slide into y'all emails because see, I'm we gonna talk on the side. So I'm like, well, we're not in the lease anymore. It was going to cost us like 3 times our monthly rate if we would have stayed an extra month. Probably the building just being pissed that we didn't renew our lease. Hey, G Mama, and yeah, we were just like, no. Well, the reason she asked that is because the new building is not quite ready. It's still under a little bit of construction because the city dragged their feet on the permits and all that kind of crap. So it's really not going to be ready for us to operate out of the space until like mid to late October. However, they have created a space for our management team to be there and work in the space if we need to. But we're also equipped to be able to work remotely. So I'm like, she's like, well, I hate that I can't print stuff and put all my papers together. I said, you know what, though? This is an opportunity to do something that we should have done years ago. We need to be paperless. Y'all need to quit relying on paper so much because it's not necessary to do your job. Anyway, I digress. Hey, Bougie. But yes, I didn't know that about the. I did know that you can find properties that have tax liens on them and buy them for the rate of what's owed in taxes. Because I used to work at a mortgage company over 20 years ago. So I do know about that. But I don't see that as much anymore. Maybe just in my city. I don't know. Because I know when I worked for the mortgage company I worked for, they were paying taxes on the property in the escrow, but they had the tax ID number wrong, so it was actually being applied to the wrong property. And this was an elderly couple's home, and their home got sold at a tax sale, and um, the person who bought it, waited the period of time that they would need to wait to see if the because you get a window of time, the person who owns the property to then come back and pay your taxes to regain your property. I don't know what that period of time is, but they waited until after that was up, knocked on their door, and it was nothing they could do. And the mortgage company, of course, had a lawsuit on their hands. So, yeah, about that. But I might have to look into that again because I have not looked there in a long time. But yeah, so let's see. So guys, I just wanted to pop in and let's talk about budgets. I know Bougie, you said you was going to create you a September budget. I don't know who else actually did that. Um, a budget for September, but I'm checking in to see how everybody's budget went so far. We're going into the end of September, so this is around the time I start budgeting for the next month. I do still have things that are going to come out of my September budget that because I have a lot of probably 95% of my things are auto set up on auto payments. So they just come out when they do. So I do have a few things that will still be coming out until literally almost the end of September. But I start planning for October now, around now, so that I know, excuse me, what I need to budget. You go up to December? Okay, now. How did you do for September? Were you in budget? Nikki. Budget, what's that? Girl, listen, I have to control myself. So I try to stick within that budget because if I don't, I'll go swipe crazy for just no reason. So I try to make sure I'm working that money a little differently. Trying to be responsible out here. Awesome. You stay in budget. I do for the most part. I'm not going to act like I don't have months that I don't. Things are going to come up. But sometimes it's not because things come up, it's because I get a little laxadaisy. That's why I got back to doing my budgets because I noticed that I was just kind of loosey goosey with the spending. Um, okay. Now, see, I don't use, I do have credit cards, but I don't use credit the way that A lot of people do. I use credit just to establish credit and raise my credit score. So I literally don't use it unless it's for something that I have cash to pay for. So I pay for mostly a lot of my things with cash. And like I said, I only use the card for the perks of it. But I'm not using my card saying, "Oh, when I get paid next month, I can pay this off." No, I've already budgeted that I'm going to buy this particular thing or pay for this particular thing, and I pay for it on the card, so then I can reap the benefits of using it. So I do have a couple credit cards, and I just rotate between them. I have one that I actually have some that auto pays. It auto deducts and auto pays on it is like $7.50. It's from my Microsoft program on my computer. So my to have the Microsoft Word, Excel, yada yada. And it just takes it charges $7.50 every month, and I have it on auto pay, and it just when it's due, it auto deducts it out of my account, $7.50. So see, I do something similar to that, Nikki. I don't I do pay my bills, and then I budget for that for my savings. So I budget what's going into my savings every month. And then I also budget for like other I don't even look at them as savings, but they are. I budget for all kinds of things. So I have I put money into um, a savings per se for car maintenance, for car insurance, for um, my Costco membership, my Sam's membership. I'm looking at my budget. Um, I have a couple Patreon accounts, so I budget for that, and I budget ahead. So I try to budget to have the money to pay for next year's stuff. I actually had my car insurance 2 years ahead at one point. And I was like, why am I doing no, just put I just changed up some things because I when you take it into monthly amounts, I just would take out that amount every month and put it towards that. And back when we were getting the stimmies, I was just throwing that money into savings. So I was one of those people that the government didn't like. That they were like, they're not putting that money back into the economy. Sure ain't, because I didn't need to. um, all right. I've never, I've had a PayPal account, bougie, for like, I don't know. My oldest is 26, and she probably was like 6, so like 20 years. And I've never used, because I know people who have like the PayPal credit. I've never used it for that because back when I got it, I was just using it to do online shopping because it was a secured way to do so. And I still use it for that. I have actually my YouTube account I think might be tied into it somehow, but yeah. Yeah, I have no credit card debt either. Literally, I like I said, I use it and pay it. So I don't have any credit card debt. Actually, soon as these student loan companies stop being funny, the only debt I will have is my home. And I plan on paying that off early. So to have no debt. And I'm excited about that. Y'all, when he came through on that, I was like, this is what I am so petty that when the panini first started and they put the freeze in on the student loans payments, I started throwing money at my student loans because it was all going to principal. So I was throwing bunches, just throwing money at it. And then they started talking about um having student loan forgiveness for like the number I think started at what 50, and then it was like, no, we're not gonna be doing 50, maybe 10. The petty and me stopped paying when mine got to 11. It's like 11 something. I don't even know the actual dollar amount. I owe 11 something, and I stopped. And when it came out that it was going to be 10 and 20 if you had Pell Grants, I was like, dang, did I have Pell Grants? I don't remember if I had Pell Grants or not. And lo and behold, your girl had Pell Grants. So it's going to pay off my student loan. Y'all, listen, I'm about that. Give me my money. Pay, you ain't got to give me the money, but we raise that debt. Yeah, I'm going to need y'all to listen. Student loans are like, they worse than taxes. They worse than taxes. For me, they was because it seemed like you just didn't have an end. Like literally, student loans, it's like you're forever paying now. I forgot to drop the link in case anybody wanted to come up. Hold on, and I pushed the wrong button. But yeah, I stopped paying soon as I got close to that 10. And I was like, because if they only pay the 10 and I had to pay the 11 or 1200 or whatever else it is that I owe, I got that. I'll pay it. But I want it gone. Yes, Nikki, forever. Forever. That's what it feel like. But yeah, guys, so this month I did stick within my budget. So I did good with that. Like I said, I have a couple things that still have not come out of my account yet. So my cell phones, well, I should say me and my husband's cell phones, um, the some of the streaming that we do. So I think still left is my Hulu. Netflix has come out. Hulu, Disney, and Amazon Prime, I think, are the only things that have not come out of my account yet. And they are the only things I have not marked off of my budget. So, what I do is I write down what I budget for all the things, everything I could think of, and then when the things come out of my account or I go and pay them, I then write next to it what it actually was. So how much I actually paid. Uh-oh,
Hey,
Bougie.
hi. I'm not
Girl,
on camera. I just washed my hair. I'm
you
getting it.
good?
I'm gonna lock it Monday. So I
You
finally
getting
washed it.
locks?
Yeah, I'm
What
gonna lock
kind?
it up. The regular, the
The regular
regular.
locks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do not regret getting locks. I don't.
Okay.
I don't regret it at all. It's taken a while for them to lock because I did the small ones, the
Okay. Yeah, I don't want
micros.
mine too small. Not too big,
Hmm.
not too small.
Yeah, they're not the sister. I didn't get the really small ones, which I really do like the way
Okay.
they look.
Hey, TT.
But I got too much hair. I said it took me for these locks. It took 20 something hours. It took
To
2 days.
do?
She did it. I said for 12 hours one day and like 10 hours
Wow.
the next day.
Oh no, I don't have the patience for that. We getting this puppy done in one day. Yeah,
I
but
wish.
I like to talk about budget. Man,
Yes.
I've come a long way. I've been on this budget. We've been down here. I moved from New York 2014. I
Mm-mm.
started in New York on paper.
Okay.
I try to write everything out like they said so I could see everything up front.
Yep.
Um, and it was, the discipline was so very hard. I had just separated from my husband. I was working security at a hotel, which I would say at that time was a good job. I had
Hmm.
health insurance, all that, that good stuff. I was able to pay the rent, but I didn't have no discipline with money. and
Yep.
I didn't know how to budget. And then you can't find nobody to talk to you.
That part.
Nobody don't want to talk to anybody about money because they were like, my thing was I just wanted help. This
Yep.
helped me to be disciplined. Like you talking about stayed in what they call the court where you keep going for rent for your rent. I
Yes.
stayed in that courtroom. You hear me?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I didn't have the money and I
Yeah.
was being I didn't have no drinking problem, no drug
Mm-hmm.
problem. It was just no discipline and
Mm-hmm.
priority with what goes where first. I even did the thing where you had told some no, I was watching the other lady, her premiere where one of them had somebody had the job separate. Like I even had the job just sending money, sending a check. I had Chase at the
Yes.
time. I split up my rent in four because I got paid every week. So
Mm-hmm.
I had them send a check to my um, rental place to help me just keep on top of, just paying the rent.
Right.
Um, but it was a hard, but I didn't give up though. But you couldn't find no help. Nobody didn't want to talk to you about money, or they think, oh, I keep going to court. I'm doing it on purpose or something, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I really, and you talk about a lot of money came through my hand, googly muggly. I
Yeah.
was doing susus that was $7,000. Um, I found a loan shark on the job. I was borrowing money from him,
Wow.
um, but I just couldn't get it together. All
Yeah.
right, have a good one. I couldn't get it together.
Yeah.
But
I
I
can
stuck to it.
relate.
Yeah, I stuck to it, and when we got down here, and all the shenanigans happened to us, and something said, you know what? Because when you do it on paper, you have to constantly keep erasing.
Mm-hmm.
Because things happen, things
Mm-hmm.
change, like you said, things come up or whatever the case. So,
Mm-hmm.
I had one time learned how to do what's the I'm sorry when I forget stuff. This getting
You're fine.
older is crap. I mean, don't get old. I'm not old, but this
No,
getting
you
old
fine. I'd
is
be doing the same
for the
thing.
birds. What's the thing where you use the sheets? That's what Google call it. I use the sheets. It's the
Like the
same thing as,
spreadsheets.
yeah, the spreadsheet. They call
Mm-hmm.
it sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to do it in there, and I just do the basic subtract and add. The
Yep.
formula, you put it in the cell, and it'll
Yep.
subtract and add for you easily. Whatever cells you put in that formula.
Yep.
And when you're talking about on everything get paid on time, and then down here they don't have the leniency like in New York when you late. Which down here they don't play that. So that
Right.
was another good thing to me because soon as you late with that same month, you getting the paper on the door. You going to court. Ain't like
Yeah.
New York, they let you pile up until you owe thousands upon thousands of dollars before they, take you to court. Not down here. They don't play that. First month
Yeah.
you miss, they on it.
Yeah. I can relate. I felt like I tell people this all the time because I've only been budgeting probably maybe 10 years now. And I tell people these are not the things that I feel like our community learns going out
Mm-hmm.
into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
We don't learn to like I would even in my younger years, in my 20s, I would write down on paper like, okay, here's my bills, this is what my paycheck is, this is what I should have after. But I never saw the figure that I saw on paper that I should have after.
Right.
That's because I'm swiping this for this and swiping this for
Mm-hmm.
that, just willy nilly because you don't, because in my head it's like, well, I got these hundreds that it says I should have after I pay my
Right,
bills.
right, right,
So I could do this. Oh, y'all want to go out to, because when you're in your 20s, your
right,
friends
right,
always want to go out or something. Oh, yeah, we could do that. Oh, yeah, I'm going, I'm down. And then I'm like, I'm broke
right.
until like a week before the next pay period. And it's like, where is my money going? And still
Right,
couldn't figure out
right,
how to make it make sense though.
right. I with this one, I am so what they call it anal. When I tell
Mm-hmm.
you, I could tell you now where every penny I
Mm-hmm.
spent because the way I fixed it up. When I go out and do something, I have like you said, I have in my mind what I can spend because I
Mm-hmm.
know by looking at the budget. And then when I come back, I put everything in.
Yep.
I have a a section where for the things that's not planned, like how you said
Mm-hmm.
you just go out and you do something or I buy something. And
Mm-hmm.
most purchases, because I'm in the house, I'm really and I don't really have no friends or nothing down here. So
Mm-hmm.
most of my purchases I could plan for,
Yeah.
which is I like. That's why I'm so far out in advance
Mm-hmm.
because I do the four pays before I even hit that button to say, place order. I go in my budget and place the payments in
Yep.
the budget for, those four times ahead to see where they land.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to get nothing in the beginning of the month where that's my biggest stuff I have to pay out,
Yeah.
the rent and the
Yep.
cell phones and all that stuff.
Yep.
So I put the four pays in as long as I can pay, and then I'll push it through. But
Yep.
yeah, like when I tell you, and then I have a box where I would go to. I'm always checking my bank account to see what the balance is to make sure
Mm-hmm.
my balance is what I
Mm-hmm.
have in my budget.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm off a penny, you talk about I will sit here until I find that penny.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Either
like you. I'm very anal. To
yeah,
I do it to the penny now. Mm-hmm.
yep. I'll be like, okay, something, but most of the time it's a number I put in wrong, and that's what
Yeah.
I'll just go see what the bank has is some number I put in wrong, and that's
Yeah.
usually what it is.
Yeah. I agree. I'm the same way. I started doing it to the penny when I first started. I actually first started budgeting, like I said, it's been like 10 years. And it was because I ran across, I think I was on YouTube and ran across a video from Dave Ramsey. And that's kind of where it started for me. And really, even with him, though, I still really wasn't on top of my budget like I should have been. I was kind of
Hmm.
willy nilly still a little bit. And then I ran into this lady called the Budgetista. And I don't know why, but she just it related to me better. Maybe because she's a sister, and
Hmm.
the way she talked, and the things she had a relatable situation. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right,
And it was with her that I got to the point where it was like you your every dollar in your budget should have a job, and that's kind of how she would explain it. So
right,
it's
right.
like not in your budget, in your paycheck. Every dollar in your paycheck should have a job. It should have somewhere to
Okay,
go.
right,
So after you do your budget for your bills and your eating and all that kind of stuff,
right.
whatever is left, you need to find a job for it. It doesn't need to just sit in your account.
Sitting, yeah,
It
just sit
needs to
there.
have a job.
Hmm.
So that's when I got really anal about my budget and making sure that every dollar had a job. So if it was
Right,
just
right,
money that was sitting, well, I don't have no money sitting in the savings, so that means I need to move it over. I need to put money, start saving, because
right,
that's
right,
something I didn't used to have. I didn't have a saving what saving
right.
where I
That
didn't have
that
a savings account.
I have one, but you had some people coming. Hey, BG and Miss Linda, and I think
Hey,
Mona came in,
hey Mona, hey Tina,
and Mike. Hey, Mike.
hey Mike, hey Felicia. I saw, and I'm not going to try to murder the name because I've heard you pronounce it correctly several times, and I saw
It's
them come
Ben.
in.
Just call him Ben. Etabe. Etabe, yeah.
Uh huh.
Etabe. But
At
his
the
name is
bay,
Ben.
Ben. Okay, that's easier. Hey Ben.
Hey, FR. Yeah. Now savings, I'm still right now we want to move. So I'm looking for a house for us to move in. and I'm saving for our, first month rent and down payment, because down here was a little different than New York. In an apartment, you don't need the security deposit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just need the for that, and then they prorate the rent. So like down here, you can move in the middle of whatever time
Mhm.
in the middle of the month. They'll just prorate the rent. Like in New York,
Yes.
it has to be the first of the month. So they
Yes.
do it a little different down
Hmm.
here. So I'm saving, but I do have, like, I could put the money there, but it I've held it for a good while, but then I can't say I put money there and it's been there for years.
Hmm.
I wind up I wind up spending it. So
Yeah.
I'm really still trying to um discipline myself to just have the money there and
Hmm.
leave it there, you
Yeah.
know. So I'm
I
still
do
working
leave
on that.
mine. I budget an amount that goes into my savings every month. I shouldn't say every pay period, every month. And I don't act like it's almost invisible to me. Sometimes I get mad at myself because I won't make certain purchases because I'll look at what I have to spend, and I
Mhm.
don't look at my savings as what I have to spend. And then I'm like, Gina, you got
Mm,
it in the savings. That's what your savings is for. Like your savings is actually there for to take care of things that you might need to do. It's not there to
right.
just sit there. You're not. First of all, I'm like, I need to probably start looking at other places to put the money because you don't get a good return on that savings. Like the percentage, the minute percentage that the bank gives you for having that money sitting there is nothing,
Right.
but they making a lot of money because your money's sitting there.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I know.
So I'm like, I need to get more savvy, and I don't have enough. I'm not gonna act like I have the knowledge to get more savvy. So I'm
Right.
working on that. I be looking for people who know. Like I know that Lashes knows a lot about the real estate. I'm like,
Right, right,
I need
right.
to have those conversations because I don't know about the real estate like that.
Yeah, we were. I'm not putting you on the spot, Lashes, but my son was looking for a mentor, and somebody that was claiming he was a mentor because he was trying to do the real estate, and
Hmm.
I just had to tell him, like, I try to help my kids, but these kids, they don't think you know nothing. So
Hmm. Yeah.
I told him, I said, I know somebody who's in real estate that's actually doing it. This person you're talking to is not a mentor. If you want a
Yes.
mentor, I have one for you that's actually in real estate. But I didn't know at the time Lashes was on her retreat. So willfully,
Hmm.
I could get her to talk to him
Hmm.
for him,
I'm
because
sure
that's
you
what
will.
he wants to do. He wants to get into the real estate.
Hmm. I'm thinking about it. Miss Linda said rent there is 3 times more than a mortgage payment. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how these people think they go, and who they think got the money to be paying like that. Because
Yeah,
you're right, you might as well just get a house. I'm not trying to do no
yeah.
more than what I'm already doing now. Because we seen a house, and that's the first thing I said. Why they? And I'm looking at the house and going, you want this for what? For this?
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
they, I think one place I was looking at, it was like 2,000. I said, so they showing you pictures. To me, when you showing pictures with your furniture still in the house, something is wrong to me. Like you trying to rent out the house, I don't know,
Hmm.
so you don't get foreclosed on it or something. I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, so what, you trying to get somebody to pay your mortgage and the rent where you going
Yeah.
for two thousand
Listen,
dollars
a
Because
lot of them, that's exactly what they're doing.
I'm
A
like,
lot of
you're
times
crazy.
people will buy like duplexes. They'll live on one side and rent the other side, and the rent is going to cover the whole
The
duplex.
whole thing.
Hmm. So
That
that's
is
exactly
crazy.
what a lot of them are doing because they definitely want their mortgage payment covered, but they want to make a profit. That's the whole purpose of renting the properties.
Right.
And I rented for a long time because I didn't want the responsibility of the maintenance at the time.
Right, right, right,
But then at some point I was like, you know what? I started saving up so I could have money saved up if in case of a maintenance issue. And then I was like, I need my own because the
right.
rent just it just keeps going up and up and up. And now because of the panini, it's ridiculous the rent. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah. And I
Y'all
think
not
it's
paying
like,
people more for income, but y'all want them to pay more rent. How is
that's
that?
what
Make it
I'm saying.
make
How
sense.
is that possible? Like, I don't understand that. Like, where y'all think people getting this money from to pay this kind of rent? I
Exactly.
would rather have somebody in here paying something
Mm-hmm.
than nobody, than have. I'm quite sure you would rather have a occupied unit than a one that's empty, than an
They
empty
would.
unit.
They would.
And if
And
people do come and claim that they could pay it, once they get in here, you $2,000, you still got to eat. You now you have to pay water. You pay your light bill. I was like, who they think doing all of this?
mm-hmm. It's a lot because, and then you have I feel like if you got a good tenant, it's hard to get good tenants.
That part,
Sometimes,
yeah.
so when you got a good tenant, you kind of want to hold on to a good
That's
tenant.
what I would think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think they would want to do. But like sometimes, um, when you in a building, like I've been here 7 years. I'm the last original person since I came that's here, that's still here. And
Mm-hmm.
the management company is still managing it, but this is the second owner
Okay.
that we have. And now this owner started right away renovating
Mm-hmm.
and doing all this stuff. And so it seems like sometimes I don't know why they think new money is better than old money. Because if you have somebody, like you said, that's here and paying their rent on time, why wouldn't you want to keep them? Like, what makes
Mm-hmm.
you think by me leaving, and you get to double up on the rent that you're going to keep somebody in here when you could have had that steady rent that I was paying?
That's the truth. And most times when they renovate, they're just putting lipstick on the pig. They're not really doing any true renovation. They're just
Oh,
trying to make
they
it look
gutting it out here.
cosmetically good.
They gutting it out. This was
Oh, that's good.
wall of wall carpet. They're
Mm-hmm.
literally pulling up the carpet that's because when you first come in, it's just like a little piece. You know how they do just a little piece at the door that's not carpet, and then the rest is carpet. But now they're pulling that whole thing up and up into the living room and putting the wood floor down. They changing all the appliances. And I say all of them, the microwave, the dishwasher, the refrigerator. I even seen them pull out counters. So I guess according to how the counters look, they like when I say they gutting it out, they gutting it out.
Wow.
Yeah. So you know they
Wow.
gonna want that money back. They
Have
gonna try to
have
get
they
that money
started
back.
talking about what the new rent rates are going to be?
I don't know, but I don't know
Mhm.
what they're gonna do because my thing is, you like I said, you rather have an empty unit than somebody in it.
Yeah, yeah, or have people in it that ain't paying the rent.
Right? That part.
Yeah, yeah, but a lot. I've noticed a lot of places are going up. Even on my street, I've seen there was a house at the other block of my street. And it's funny because how my street is, part of my street is a township, part of it is a city, and I live in the part that's the township. So the rates on the township end are a little bit more, but that's because the township does do more. um so but on this house was on the city end, and it was just a two-bedroom house, and it was way more than I paid for my mortgage, and I was like, for two bedrooms,
I know.
like. And I hear people complain, like, I go to this place to shop, or I go to this place to eat, and they don't have no employees, and it just take all day, and people just don't want to work. And I'm like, excuse me, people don't want to work. No, people don't want to work for minimum
Minimum
wage.
wage.
They
Exactly.
can't live. How are
Exactly.
you really gonna sit up there and just try to act like these people need to just be do whatever that you need them to do so that you can
Right.
be comfortable? No,
Exactly.
they can't pay their bills. So guess what? They didn't go back to those minimum wage
That's
jobs
why I
that
wasn't
didn't
mad at
care
them
about them
either.
to begin with.
Exactly. I wasn't mad at them either. Urban, you see
Mhm.
what Urban, what she put?
No, what she put?
She put, yes, I am mean. She said she was put earlier. She said she was giving notices for rent increase. I have to go mow lawns and work when a man is living there. I
Mm-hmm.
also have to do my own home. I remember that every time it increases. And then she said, ooh, ooh, did I read the wrong one first? If you have a good tenant, you work with them. If they talk with you about affordability, you work with them. But
Yeah.
landlords need to keep up with inflation.
I agree with that a little bit because if you're paying way below what everybody else is paying, of course people are going to stay there. But yeah, if you like you said, if you got good tenants, though, definitely work with them on affordability because most I, I don't know anybody who just because inflation they got a raise.
Right.
I mean, is anybody in the
Exactly.
chat that got a raise just because
Exactly.
everything else in the world went up?
Right.
I didn't.
I don't understand why that's not calculated in that. Okay, they doing rent increases, but nobody pay got increased. So how does the two go together?
That part. That part, and I mean everything is inflating. Your medical insurance, your dental insurance,
Right, right,
gas, groceries, living,
right.
everything went up except for
Your
your
pay.
your income.
Yep, exactly.
You're gonna get your same range of raise when evaluation time comes up. It's not
Right,
gonna be, oh, you know what, because of inflation, we decided to make this range higher. No,
right,
no. But in a lot of cases, you depending on the industry you work in, the employees that they hire going down the line could be making more than you
right,
because now the employees that are coming in are requesting a higher rate because
right,
of,
right, right, right,
but they already got you, so they ain't gonna tell you nothing about it, and they just gonna pay them more.
right.
And it's like you gotta do your people right.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do your people right because they still got to meet their needs. They got families, they got
Exactly.
responsibilities, they still got
Exactly.
things to take care of. And I think that's where budgeting definitely helps because if you need to be in a tight budget for a while until you
Right,
can make something else shake, like
right, right, right,
make a career change or something like that. If you got something to fall on, a couple months of savings to pay your bills while you make this transition, that's much more relief than not having nothing.
right. Hello, Teresa. Teresa
Hey, Teresa.
Diaz came in.
Yeah, so that's why and I'm actually trying to get to a point where I have several months of my bills and savings.
Okay.
Um, and like now I was trying to get to a year of savings and I'm probably closer to 6, 7 months. But as that number keeps going in there, it makes me frustrated that I just got that money sitting in my savings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's smart. I think I could be doing something else with it. I
Right.
do have a 401, so I have money in the stock market as well.
Okay.
But that ain't doing I mean, it's like a roller coaster. I mean, it
Right.
always is. But that mug drop
Mm-hmm.
for a minute.
Right, right.
And I
Oh
was
yeah, didn't it just drop with this dude announcing? Didn't they put the rate up, the interest rate up?
They did. The rate went up yesterday to 6 point because I have to keep track of that for my what I do, but
Right,
it's 6.25, which means that car loan rates are going to be higher,
right,
home buying rates are going to be higher,
right.
everything. Hey, Crafty,
But nobody pay is gonna be higher. Hey,
that
Lioness.
part, that part, and honestly, the rates on stuff was already higher. I had looked at and because I didn't need it, but I was looking at a car.
Okay,
And it was because I went on a business trip in April, and I flew, but one of my coworkers, her and her husband drove because their daughter goes to school in the state that we were going to. So because they drove, we were able to um, go like on little tourist things and stuff like that because we could just hop in the car when we had downtime. And the car they were in was really nice. It was the same kind of car I had, but way newer,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 years newer. And I was like, well, maybe I might upgrade, to a newer car. Got home, got to getting online, looking at the prices of cars. Child, please. My
Mm.
car is just fine.
Mm.
It was actually almost as much as I paid for my house. I kid you not. I am not exaggerating. I think it was a 2020, and it was just a Ford Escape. So it wasn't even like it was the top end of Fords. It was a Ford Escape, and it was like $60,000. I was like, y'all have lost your mind.
Okay.
$60,000? No, I don't think I'm gonna ever be there in life to feel comfortable paying that kind of money for a vehicle. I
Right.
don't think I ever be there. I could win the lottery, and I'm still not gonna be comfortable with spending $60,000 on a freaking car.
Hello, my Renaissance grandma.
Hey, my Renaissance grandma. Yeah, I was not. Y'all go online and start looking at some of. I see Chris said, "Wow." Go online and start
Now,
looking at
when
prices
you
for
said
these.
the interest rates go up, so now when that happened, does it matter anymore about you? Because I thought it was because of your credit score, what interest rate you get, but no.
Say that again.
Now, isn't it like what? Well, with the car, isn't
Mhm.
it your interest rate is according to your credit, your
Yes,
FICO score?
yes,
So is it still that, or because it
it
went
is.
up, or
No, it's still that.
oh,
But
okay,
it's for people who don't have. That's see the thing is the people who suffer the most are the people who don't have the good standing.
right, right,
So
right,
the people who don't have the more income, the people who more than likely, if you don't have that income, you probably don't have good credit either,
right,
and you probably need a decent car or living situation, and you're being charged the most. It is not right, but that's the way the world works. Like
right, right,
the
right,
people who have the least get beat down the worst because
right,
they pay the most.
right,
So if your credit score is not good, that 6.7, that 6.25 ain't even in your that you're not even gonna see that because that's usually for
right,
somebody who has a decent credit score.
right,
But somebody who has a great credit score could probably do 0% on a car. They could probably get one of those deals when they run into 0% interest rates and stuff
right,
like that. But
right, right.
I see people, I work in bankruptcy. So I
Okay,
see people who get the high end of the
the
credit,
spectrum. Yeah.
not credit score, interest rates. I've seen people get cars with interest rates as high as 23.
Ah, you
I'm
got to
not,
be
I
kidding
am
me.
not kidding you.
What? What kind
I
of
am not
payment
kidding.
was that?
I've seen people get cars that are like not even new, probably like 2016, 2015, and be paying $700-800 a month. And
Oh,
I'm like,
no way. No way.
what? I
No
have
way.
never. I would never.
No, no
And I
way.
feel for them
Wow.
because they need, like, it'd be a situation where their car might have been totaled.
Right,
Well, they get the insurance money, so they'll have at least a down payment because, depending on how old your car is, you don't get that much when you
hmm,
settle with your insurance company. And then they have to get another car, and you're going to try to get something that's reliable.
right. Hey,
So,
troublemaker. Mona, you said
hey, badass.
29. Wait, 23. Mona said 23. Mine is 26 to 29. What's that, Mona?
Yo, what? Yo, what? Your interest rate? Look, Crafty was like, yo, interest
I know I don't
rate.
have no credit. I struggle with that too. I still don't have none now. The last card I had, I was using that that popular thing where you go and they show you your stuff and they recommend. The last thing they had on there, which I was surprised to see, was a Citibank where you put the money down on it. What do you
Mm-hmm.
call that again? And so the agreement was supposed to be I kept it for a year. You know how they said, well, this one was I kept it for a year and they'll make it. a regular card. So I said,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
So, I learned about the
The
thirty
prepaid
percent.
credit cards. You talking
Yeah,
about
the
when?
prepaid. I had, yeah,
Mhm,
it was the prepaid. So I was doing the 30%, keeping it, only using 30% of the card, and made all my payments for the whole year. And it actually went past the year, and I forgot about it. And I was like,
mhm,
oh snap! And finally, they sent me a email, and here they go. Oh, we looked over your thing and decided you have to go another year. I said, oh yeah, send me my money back.
mhm,
I said, I ain't going another year. You said the 1 year, and
mhm.
that's what I did, and I didn't miss no payments. So what you need to go another year for?
Yeah,
So I,
yeah,
I just gave up after that. I was like, I don't know what to do.
yeah, yeah. What I did when I got ready to start doing credit cards again. Because when I first did credit cards, I thought that was my money.
She
That's how
said
I treated.
interest rate. She said that's the interest
I
rate.
saw that. Mona,
Wow.
we gonna have to talk, but I know it's probably based on some things that's going on, some things that probably has happened in life that has
Right, right,
got made that the circumstance, but child, and also with cars, I'm gonna tell you, like if your credit score goes up a couple years into that loan, you can refinance that car loan into a
okay.
better rate.
Right, right, right.
Cause
Yeah.
girl, they
That's
ain't
what
doing nothing but getting the ink
that's
off
what
of you.
Mona needs to do. Yeah. Mona,
They ain't doing
you
nothing
need
but
to
banking
talk
off
to
of you.
Gina, please. Woo.
They
And
is
I tell
banking.
you. And
You
they
have
and
to not
they
pay
don't
off.
care because as long as they making money, they don't care.
They don't. They don't. And I see even with the housing market, people were buying houses left and right. Not and some of them were selling their houses because they could make this big profit because right now the values on the houses are up. But then you got to buy a house. Now you done
Right,
sold your house. Yeah, you made a profit, but now you're
right,
gonna buy my house,
right,
and I'm gonna charge you a lot for my house.
right,
That's
right.
gonna eat up the profit that you was making by selling
But
your house.
that's what I heard somebody was saying. Even though they could sell a house, but to buy a new one, they wouldn't even get enough money for what they sell a house
Mm-mm.
to buy a new one, which is
Nope.
crazy.
Yep. I
It's
have a friend that's
crazy.
living in a townhouse right now because they sold their house during that time, and the houses that they was looking at buying were like ridiculously more.
Right. Now that's like a catch-22 now because people will tell you, why don't you buy instead of rent? It's like you and both is in bad places right now.
Hmm.
The rents are high and the prices of
The
houses are
property.
overpriced and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's like pick your poison at this
it
point.
is. It is. I got in right before the housing market went up, and I mean literally, the ink probably wasn't even dry before the market went up when me and my husband bought our house. And I was so happy that I did. I had started the process that year prior, and the owner of the house was dealing with bowel cancer. So it was like the communication was just, static. But I
Hmm.
was just so happy that we went into a contract before that happened, before the market changed,
Right, right, right.
because he could have easily, at this time, he could get another 60, 70,000 for this house than what I
Okay.
paid for it. And I'm like, I got lucky.
Right.
I got lucky because right now the prices is just, oh,
Mm-hmm.
honey.
Hello,
I,
hi, Cheryl.
hey, Cheryl.
And Unicorn Lady. I think
I
Unicorn
didn't
Lady
see
came in.
Unicorn Lady come in. Hey, Unicorn Lady. But yeah, what'd you say, Felicia? Is it worth it to refinance a car loan? Usually, a car loan is simple interest and you pay it out. Yes. The answer to that question is yes. If you have a car loan that you have, let's just say you're paying an interest rate of 19%, and you've made some strides in your credit where got some things off your report, you've gotten your credit score to go up, And now you could get an interest rate of, let's just say, 9. Yes. Yes, it is. It's worth it. Because one thing you're going to get from it is you're going to have a lower interest rate. Yeah, you might let's just say, because you're probably looking at it the fact that, let's say you did a 5-year car loan and you 2 years in and you refinance, now you're back at 5 years. But you're at 9% interest rate, which means you have a lower car payment. If you were already affording the car payment at 20% interest,
Right.
make that car payment at the same amount you was making at the 20%, but paying the
Oh,
principal
right, right,
amount.
right,
Now you're not paying as much interest, and you could pay that car off quicker.
right. Good
It's
idea.
it's worth it to me because, no, ma'am. Because
Yeah.
when I get things, that's the first thing I think of. How can I pay this off quicker? I think I paid my car off in 2.5 years because
Okay.
I would just principal, 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 just throwing extra money at principal. I'm
Right.
doing the same thing with my house. I'm like, I want to pay it off quicker. I did a 20-year mortgage. If I could pay it off in 10, I'd be ecstatic. If I pay it off in 12, I'll be ecstatic. I want to pay it off sooner.
Crafty Leo put something.
Uh-oh. I missed it. Let's see.
It's at the bottom.
Is it the so do
It's
did
at
I
the
miss?
bottom. At the
Oh, at
bottom.
the very bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. I really want us to refinance through a different lender. Okay, but I'm not sure we would get the same interest rate. So you must have a good interest rate. Is that what you're saying, Crafty? And that's why you're not sure you'll get the same one? Um, and is it that you just don't like the current lender? Is it some issues with the current lender? It makes a difference. And also, I'm gonna tell y'all too, like when y'all purchasing stuff, if you have pretty decent credit, so if you have a credit score, I'm gonna just guess maybe about 670 or better, try a credit union before you deal with a bank. They gonna treat you much better. If you could get a credit union to finance any endeavor you're trying to go through, it's gonna be much better.
Yeah, my son did that when he got his car. He went. His father
Mhm,
took him to the credit union that he
mhm,
dealt with, and he got his loan through the credit union. Hey, S&M.
yeah. Hey, S&M. Yeah, if you could go through your credit union, it's going to be better. You're probably going to get a better rate. I know a couple cars back, the first time I went through a credit union, my bank had approved me, and I was like, I think I could do better than that. I think I could do a better rate than the bank was giving me. So was talking to the dealer, and I was like, is it are y'all okay if I try to go through my credit union too? And they was like, sure, So I went, called my credit union up, had them do it. They were able to give me a rate 5% less than what the bank was giving me. And so
No.
ever since then, I'll be with my credit union.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you can't beat the rates that they'll give you. And even with my mortgage, I would have never thought about doing a 20-year mortgage. Actually, and I used to work at a mortgage company. I didn't even know there was a 20-year mortgage. I knew there was a 15 and a
Right.
30.
Yeah, I
And
heard it a 15. I never heard
mhm,
it a 20.
I hadn't either. And so when she came back, and I think it's because, like I said, I have worked to get my score up. So I have a really good credit score. And when she came back, she said, well, you qualify for the 20-year mortgage if you're interested. It was
Okay.
only making my mortgage payment like 15 or so dollars more than what it would have been for a 30-year mortgage. And it was a good interest rate. Um, and it qualified me to not have to put down a down payment.
Okay. Oh, look at
And
that.
I was like, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, but I was like, hey, let's go for it. And she ran it through and everything went through and it was all good. And I was like, I'll take it because I plan on paying you off before that. And they're the same ones I paid my car off early with. So they already know how I roll.
Okay. Crafty, she said it's 2.5. I would like to go with someone we are more familiar with, like Navy Fed.
I agree, Crafty, but no, don't touch it. That's a good interest rate. I would be afraid. You can, you know what? Even if you can see what the credit union would get you, but you don't have to take the loan. Now it is going to run a inquiry on your credit, so it just depends on, you want to keep your increase to like, I think three or less or four or less, something like that.
For the
But
year?
you don't have to.
Is that for
Anybody,
the year or for the month? The
huh? For the
is that
year,
for the
that
year?
the inquiry
Wow.
stays on for, is it a year or 2 years?
I don't know.
Let
But
me
you
see,
only
because
can
I got
have
a couple about
three
to
or
drop
four
off.
for the whole year? Wow.
Yeah, because it makes you look risky. So if
Right.
you,
I
because
thought you
an
was gonna say it
inquiry,
make you look thirsty.
that's exactly it. But it makes it look risky because it's like, why are you applying for
Right,
something?
right, right, right.
Yeah, and I think they stay on there for a couple years because I have one for sure that I know drops off here soon, and I think it was for my for the house. So, and I did that, and we closed last year, but we started in 2020, the end of
Okay.
2020. So it's dropping off, I think this month
This
or next
year,
month. So
right.
it's been
It should
2 years.
be this year, yeah.
Yep.
FR said I had a 30-year refinance for 20 years, then refinance for 15 years, bought my house in
12 and a half years total. That's what's
yeah.
up. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I just be throwing money at the principal.
And see all of this stuff, like you said, we're not even taught none of this. We're not
We
even taught
not.
no basic stuff.
We not.
We just know what they just tell us so that they can make money off of us, but we don't know how to use these things for our
Hmm.
advantage.
Yep.
So it's
Listen, my first couple cars that I had, I didn't even go on lots in because they were used cars, of course. Actually, I've never bought a brand new car and don't have. I don't want one. My last car I bought was just a certified used one, and that's what I like to buy. Something that the dealership certifies because they're saying that this is, we're certifying it. We feel like this is just as good as a new car.
right,
But my first cars that I bought, it wasn't even like I was going a lot and be like, oh, I like this car. It'd be like, basically, no, this is the car you can afford. Do
right,
you want it? That's how it was for me.
right,
For
right.
probably my first three or four cars. No, this is what
Yeah,
you can afford based on what we just ran on you.
right, right,
Do you want that car or not?
right. Yeah, and they do. When they do that too, like you said, if you like somebody said in the comment, if you desperate people just go ahead and take it.
Hmm.
Mona said consolidating got her in trouble.
I was gonna say, don't consolidate. Yes, I can see that, Mona. And a lot of people do it. You be consolidating companies get a lot of businesses, a lot of business, I should say. And it's mainly because most people don't want to file bankruptcy. So
Ah,
consolidating seems like the cure to not having to file bankruptcy. And I will tell you that majority of the people who consolidate loans come to in my city end up coming to see us to file bankruptcy.
anyway.
And I'm like,
Mhm.
you could have saved some money by just starting here. It's bankruptcy for, and I felt this way before I worked in the field. It was like bankruptcy is like a cuss word, like, ugh,
Right,
ugh,
right, right.
ugh. You need to sit over there because I don't want to catch that. I don't want to catch bankruptcy. And that's how I even looked at it. And I'm like, once I got into the field, child,
When
the,
you
the
find
things
out
I
what
can
it's
tell
really
you,
about, right?
the things I can tell you about how some people
Use that.
overly utilize that
Yeah,
process.
okay. Hey, triple
Just
threat.
saying. Hey, Triple, they overly use it.
Yeah, I
I mean,
believe
some
you.
have even been restricted because they use it too much. They get
Right,
deemed by the courts and say that they cannot do it within
Right.
a certain amount of
Another
years because
time.
they've done it. So,
Right, right, right. Yeah.
so I'm like, I've even had to tell some of my family members, like, don't be afraid to do that if
Right,
you need to.
right,
Don't make it
right.
the now. Don't just go out here and just do all
Abuse
the
it.
tear
Yeah.
everything, mess up your everything and then
Right,
go do it.
right.
No. But if you in a bad space, don't stay in that space. There's a bankruptcy is literally a fresh start. That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to give you a fresh start. It's going to wipe the slate clean.
Right,
And now you get to start fresh and start building the
right,
way you probably wanted to begin with.
right, right.
But yeah, I see debt consolidation getting people in trouble because it if you couldn't afford it before, sometimes it's just you still can't afford it when they consolidate it and you got one
Mm-hmm.
payment,
Mm-hmm.
and it take you forever to get through those programs too. So yeah,
Mm.
it's a lot.
And they know that. That's why they have them.
Yes, guys, thanks, Mike. Y'all type frugal Frugal in the chat, and it'll drop your link, your channel link, so people could come over and see what you got going on. Um, would you say, Felicia, those people? Yes. Chill. Yes. I never forget. This was when I was very early on working there. There was a couple, and they were like in their 70s, and they had a house that was like worth over 500,000. I kid you not. Buku rooms, buku bathrooms, all the jazz. And it's just them. It's just the husband and wife,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in their 70s, and they're in bankruptcy. And they didn't want to let the house go. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, why do you need that much house? They
Right.
didn't let it go either.
Mm.
I'm like, if you would have just let your house go, sold your
Right.
house, and downsized,
Right.
you
Right.
probably could have paid everybody you owed. You, if so many people they rather be house poor for the look
Right. Right.
and
Right.
to downsize, even if it's temporary, downsize and then work your way back up to where you want to be at. But at 70, you need to just be comfortable in less. I don't understand why a 70-year-old couple needs to be in a
Half
half
a
million
million
dollar
dollar house.
house that has like 9 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. I don't understand that. That's a big, like here in Ohio, that's a big house because our housing market is not as expensive as most states.
Okay.
It's just not like that's a big house. So, but I see people do it all the time. Many seniors they are, Teresa, they are attached to their homes or their things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be, that's with anything though. You have to be, because it's not just seniors. I have friends who get attached to things. You have to be ready to let things go if
Yeah.
necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Don't allow things to put you in a position that you don't have to be in. They're
Right. Right.
things you can rebuy anything you already have.
Right.
That stuff can be repurchased and maybe even better. Uh-oh, Felicia. Okay, Gina, I feel some kind of way. I'm not 70, but I need my house. Your house paid for. So we ain't got to talk to you about nothing, Felicia. Your house paid for. I'm talking about these. I'm not saying it was just worth a half. I'm talking about they still owed. They were in bankruptcy because they couldn't pay for the house.
And what happened? They were 70. Why wasn't the house paid for? Now that you said that.
Because they probably bought it late in life,
Ah,
which I don't
okay.
understand that either. I see people do that too. My daughter's grandmother, my oldest one, her grandmother is retired. Literally, I don't know. I don't even think it was a month after she retired. She came over to the house one day and she was like, "You want to come out and see my new car?" And I'm like, "Miss Wright, why would you buy a new car?" I'm blunt like that. And she was like, "Cause I wanted to get another car, so it'd be my last car." And I was like, "Your last car was new. Like she
Mhm.
always had newer cars, so it was no reason." I said, "Why would you retire?"
Right.
and then buy a car. Like when you
Right.
retire, that stuff should be done with.
My
I'm like,
girlfriend has a
mm,
couple that her she has a friend, a couple, um the husband retired from UPS. Do you know they went and bought a house?
mm-mm. That's not how you do it. Like my mother-in-law, her retirement, she set her retirement based on when her house was going to be paid off. And
Right,
I remember
right,
her telling me that she says, because I asked her, I was like, when are you going to retire?
right,
And she said, because she bought her a car, and her car and her house was going to be paid off around the same time.
right,
And she said, "This is my car. This is my forever. This is my car, my last car, and my house to be paid for." And she did. When she retired, her house was paid for and her car was paid for. And I'm like, and she don't miss a beat because she ain't got nothing to worry about but paying her bills, her utilities and stuff. It makes sense. Like, why would you put yourself in debt after
right. After
retirement?
you got, yeah, retired.
Deal with that debt beforehand.
Right, right. I don't
We just
know.
Felicia said, I had a coworker that had a house worth less than 100K. She refinanced her house multiple times to reduce payments, and every time 30 years. She retired
Wow.
and was still paying. That's because they going child, that's not the way to do it. Mm-mm. I see those, like, when they did the mortgage bailout years ago, and they were
Mm-hmm.
allowing people to do the loan modifications,
Uh-huh.
they still do the loan modifications. And sometimes, and I have to approve those when people are in bankruptcy. That's something that comes across my desk that I have to look at and see if it makes sense for them to,
Okay.
go into this agreement. And some of them I see, it's like, I don't think it's a good deal for them, but it's like,
Right,
it's the only way that they can. So I okay them. And then our trustee, he does the final okay. And I usually say, well, I mean, I wouldn't do this, but I
right,
understand the
right,
situation. So I guess this is good for them. But it's like, y'all ain't never gonna pay for this house. So why pay this mortgage?
right,
Only
right,
to not own it in the end, only for your kids or your wife or whoever not
right.
to own it in the end. Cause they ain't gonna be able to pay for it.
Yeah. Hey, Laquita.
Hey Laquita. I saw something else. I saw Mike say something, I think.
Yeah, he
No,
was talking
it
about
was
his
unicorn.
condo that he was in.
Yeah.
I used to live in a condo that was sort of studio style. I bought a house. I missed the condo. LOL. Simpler living, no mowing. I guess it's supposed to be mowing yard, etc.
Hmm. Yeah. But condos got condo fees. I don't like that. I mean, some of them ain't that bad, but I never lived in a condo, so I don't know. But I used to watch that show on HGTV where I'd be like, they tell me what the condo fees was. I was like, oh, the mortgage be sounding good, and then they say the condo fees. I'm like, for what? But
Hmm.
yeah, Mona said after she gets all her bills paid, she's going to buy a new car.
Okay.
Yeah, girl. I wish we would have talked a long, long time ago before you did that debt consolidation. But you know what? I made mistakes in my past that helped me to learn and do better now. So that sometimes we just got to go through some things to get
Yeah.
to where we are
Hmm. Yeah.
later. Because, child, I done did the mistakes. I definitely have. And I noticed too, like a lot of times, and I think it's a lot about how we were raised up. Because I know when I was younger, what happened in our house, in my mama's house, my parents' house, stayed in our house.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are like that even now. And sometimes when you don't talk about what you might be going through or
Right.
what might be
Right.
going on, you might be blocking someone who's actually in your presence, even a stranger that is in that field that can give you some knowledge that can help you to
Right.
not deal with something. Because I've had several people do that to me, like finally discuss something with me after some stuff has
Everything
really
that
gone
already
bad.
happened. Right.
Mhm. And I'm like, I wish you would have talked to
Said
me. I know
something.
this
But,
person and they
hmm.
could have helped you.
right. I tell my
And
kids that, I know, but
mhm,
they got this thing, or I'm real sensitive to understanding that people, might not have the discipline to budget. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm here. I went through that. You don't have
yeah,
to go through the stuff that I went through. I'm here, to help you. I'll talk to you about money. I don't have no problem talking to you
yeah,
about money, but I don't know, since these kids just want to do their own thing, and
yeah.
so
Because budgeting ain't fun.
no,
That's it. It ain't fun. I what if I want to go hang with my friends and
right.
everybody's doing. I remember my oldest when she was in college, when she first went to college, and she worked and went to college, and she would come home complaining, talking about I this is just too much. I don't have a social life. I said, girl, being an adult is not about having a social life. You're gonna figure
Okay,
that part out. But
okay,
you get through this school. School is number one priority. So if anything gonna suffer, it's gonna be your job, and that's your
right,
money. So you don't need that at this very moment. But because you want to work, that's fine. I'm good with that. But you're gonna do this school stuff.
right.
You're gonna do it right.
My son, he's the youngest one. He finally came and sat down with me so I could put a budget together for him. But I
Awesome.
mean, somebody, I sit there and put it together, but it's for you to follow it.
That's true.
That's the thing. And he don't, and my thing is, well, I always get on, single people and people with no kids. Why are you always broke? I'm not
Yeah.
understanding this.
Yeah.
You don't have chick nor child. You ain't got to feed nobody but you. Why
Yeah.
are you always broke?
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
sat down and put everything in the same, system that I'm using, and showed him
Mhm.
so he could, see where everything is and how much
Mhm.
money he actually has left over after everything
Mhm.
gets paid. Because my budget is broken down into pay periods,
Mhm.
the pay period and what bill is due that
Mhm.
pay period, get
Right.
paid that pay period. So I did it like that for him. But like your daughter said, he want to go hang out. Yeah, but you got to pay this credit card down if you want to go hang out. You got to pay this
Mhm.
credit card down first,
Mhm.
and then you can have that. That's where your money is at.
Yeah. And I think at a young age, I don't know how young your son is. I know when my daughter was in her young teens, her late teens, early 20s, I'm like, you don't need a credit card.
Right,
Just don't go down that rabbit hole. Because that's when I started with them. And everybody will give you a credit card at that age.
right, right,
And you think that's your money. It's
right.
not. It's
No,
basically
right,
a loan. It's no different than if I gave you a loan and said you need to pay me back on the 15th of next month.
right.
It's
Yeah,
the
he's
same thing.
wait, I'll be asking them how old they are. I believe he's 24.
I get it.
Somebody be like, how old are they? They hear them in the background. I'll be like, how old are y'all?
Listen, I get it. I can't be remembering all this. I do that to my daughter. I'm like, you 26? Oh, dang. And then I'll be counting on my fingers like, nah, you
Okay.
can't be.
I don't know. It hit once I turned 40. Like I could not keep up with how old I was. For some
I
reason,
was
I
just
was like,
about to
I
say
couldn't keep
that.
up with it. Like I
I
couldn't
was
remember. Let me tell you, I was 47 for 2 years.
I've been that.
I'm
I've had my
telling
husband
people
correct
I'm
my age several
47
times.
and I was 46. I was
Listen,
47 for 2 years.
listen,
A hot mess.
I'm the same. But yeah, definitely teach them. Like, and what I did, and I tell my daughter too, I'm like, I'm proud of you for listening because every child doesn't, because it's not easy.
Right,
Budgeting is discipline. And if some people just don't like being put in that box of discipline, of having to follow
right,
um this record of what you're
right,
doing,
right, right,
you know And some people don't even want to see what they're doing. They just want to
Yeah.
do it. They don't want to see it on
Right,
paper
right, right.
because it don't always look pretty. I remember my daughter sat down with her boyfriend and they were trying to figure out why he was always broke. And he loves anime. And so
Okay.
he watches it on Prime and he was like, but they only be like 99¢. So they pulled out the statement and they
Right,
start
right,
marking
right.
all highlighting all of them. Added it up for 1 month, it was over 200 and some dollars. Yeah, they was 99¢,
Wow.
though. He
That's
wasn't
like
lying.
going to the dollar store. I was just wrote that in a comment to somebody. They were saying how they go in the dollar store and spend so much money. Yeah, because you in there going, it's only a dollar, and just
Yep,
throwing everything in there, saying
yep,
it's only a dollar till you get to the register and it's $100. You done
yep.
drop in the
That's
shopping cart.
exactly, yep, that's exactly what he was doing. He just kept getting those dollar anime movies.
Right.
And so then they sat down and did a budget where he had a budget amount that he could spend on anime a month. And that's
Right,
it.
right, right,
When that
right, right.
anime money was gone, you're gonna have to
That
wait
was
for the
it.
next month.
Right, right, right.
But sometimes you don't want to see, and that's why I don't like swiping my card anymore because I did that. When I would go
Right.
grocery shopping or something, I might say, yeah, to that I'm going grocery shopping, my budget is $100. But if I'm swiping, I'd be like picking up things, something gonna be flat. You know how they set up displays to catch your eye.
Yeah, to get you to, yeah,
And
they
I'd be like, ooh, I'm about to try that. Oh, it's only 2 for $6. Yeah, get two of them. And
Mhm.
next thing you know, you get to the register and they're like, 279, please. You're like,
Right. What did I get? But me and my daughter was bad with that. Like we would, we was on the budget, but when we went in the store, we didn't look at prices.
yeah,
Yeah, I was real bad with that. You would ask us how much something was, and we could not tell you. If it was something we want, we just put it in the shopping
yep,
cart.
yep,
That's how we used to do. And
yep,
now we do go in. We have a set, and then I take out the calculator now and I subtract as I go along, to
hmm
make sure I stay um, within the budget. But
yep,
yeah, we used to do that. We was real bad at that. We would just
same.
go in the store and we did good. We we just did a budget save where we saved up to go liquor shopping.
Hmm
We saved $300 and we decided to go to one of the big places and happen to get a discount that day on a case of the
hmm
Stella Rosa, and
hmm
we think we did good.
Yeah,
We stayed in budget. We didn't go over
that
the
is
budget,
good
and
because you created a budget for that. So if you spent
right,
all 300, you still, that was what it was for.
right, right, and I mean that was fun though.
Hmm
That was fun.
And then you don't feel no kind of way at the end. Like you
No,
don't go home feeling no kind of way because you didn't take that away from something else.
nothing else exactly. That was specifically for that.
Yep.
So she was even surprised. Like what I would do is like I tell them on the budget. I said, I said this is y'all heavy week. They have a heavy week, which is at the beginning of the month when we pay the rent, and then they have their um, light week where nothing might
hmm
be due but the cable bill or something like that. So what I
hmm
did was I would take the money out to save for the liquor when we went on her light week. I would take it
hmm
out then, and that's how
Yep.
we got it done.
Yep.
That was fun when we went and did it.
Now is she adult, the daughter?
Yeah, she's 28.
So that's gonna be good for her because the gratification and that just that time that y'all
Right,
did that
right,
will make her want to do that and other things for herself
right,
because she sees she can do it. Like, I did this with my mom. So if I want to get this thing, I could go ahead and do this. Because sometimes people want instant gratification so that when they
right,
see something, they want it right then
right.
and they're not willing to wait just a
Yeah,
little while, just a
right,
little
right.
bit.
Yeah,
And if you,
I'm working on that, trying to get
yeah,
out of that instant gratification that
hmm
they got us in, because like I pay all the bills and everything, so they transfer everything over to me,
hmm
and she uses what's that thing everybody uses
Like
to pay each other?
Cash App.
Yeah, she
Hmm.
cash apps me. So if you want it instantly, it was 1%
Yeah.
cash app. But then I got um the last time they sent money to me, cash app said it was going up. I think was it 1.75, and I'm like, really?
Mm-mm.
I took it off of instant.
I
I
never
mean,
did
it's
my instant.
it's 3 days, but that's you. To me, it's like a discipline to
Yep.
say I don't need something instantly, because
Yep.
if I don't need the money right now, there's no need for me to pay you to get the money, right? Even though I
Exactly.
made them pay the fee, but if I
Exactly.
could wait, I'm gonna sit and wait the 3 days for it.
Same. My daughter
And
does
this
the
is
same
how
thing. That's
these
why I knew what
people,
it was.
that's how they get us with that instant
Yes.
gratification. They'll charge
Yes.
you a fee because why? You want it, right? Like you said, you don't want to wait
Yep.
for it, and you really don't need it right now. Or
Yep.
some people be like, yesterday, I wanted it yesterday.
Yep. It's just like, when you're young and you go into the mall, or, remember when layaway was a thing? A lot of people didn't. I never laid away. And the reason why is because I am too indecisive. So if I like it today, I can't guarantee I'm going to like it when I get it out of layaway.
Right, right,
So I
right.
never did it for that reason alone. So when
Okay.
I would rather save up and then go
And then
shop.
go get it. Right, right,
Hmm.
right.
Because I'm just like that. Like, even sometimes when I buy something, once I shopped for it, I get it home and I'm like, I might take that back. I don't know if I still want that.
I'm
I
kind
could
of
do
glad
that
I'm
one.
I'm the type of person where my son girlfriend said it. He said, she said, your mother only get everything your mother gets, she use it.
Hmm.
I'm not like I don't, like you, a lot of women like shoes. I don't have no closet full of shoes. I have a closet full of rice and beans. I don't
Yes.
have a closet full of shoes. I don't have a closet full of clothes.
Hmm.
I'm not that type of person, so I kind of
Same.
don't have that habit of wanting to go. I gotta get me a new pair of shoes, and got shoes stacked up to the ceiling. Only
Yep.
probably wore them once or twice.
Yep. I'm the same. I don't have a bunch of that stuff. I probably my kryptonite, weirdly enough, is kitchen appliances. I
Okay,
love gadgets.
gadgets. Yes, I'm a gadget person too. Yes.
Ah, and I have to restrain myself. Like, girl, I will. It's not good. I had a meat slicer, like the kind you when you go to the butcher and they slice your
Yeah.
lunch meat.
Mhm. Mhm.
I had one of those and I never used it. I saw it and I had to have it, and it was in my basement for like, I kid you not, maybe 10 years. I
Okay.
finally gave it to my brother-in-law because I was like, I don't know why I bought this thing. I just had to have it.
Right.
But yeah, you name it. I either have had it before or I still
Right.
have it.
Right.
I am a gadget person.
They when they come and they cook in the kitchen, if I see them looking around, be like, "What you need?"
Yeah.
Because I probably got something for that. What you need?
Listen, it's horrible. Yeah, that's probably my thing. Gadgets. Yeah. Or kitchen small appliances and things like that. Yeah. I'm bad about that. I'm looking for a roaster right now, one of the electric ones, because I
Okay.
don't have one.
I have a turkey fryer. You're not talking about that.
Mm-mm, but
Okay. Okay.
you could cook a turkey in it. It's the roaster
Okay.
one that looks like a oval, I mean, like a square thing, and it almost looks like it sits inside of the same thing like a crock pot does,
Okay. Okay. I
and
think I
it
know
has
what
a
you're
lid
talking
to
about.
it.
I never got a crock pot. I don't have a crock pot, and I
Oh,
don't have. I have the air fryer, but I don't have the. What's the thing that cooks this
the
food
pressure
real?
cooker.
Yeah, I don't have a pressure cooker either. I never got one of those.
You
Those
haven't
are
named the thing that I don't have yet. I got two crock pots, two air fryers, and a
Now I got,
pressure cooker.
yeah, I got
That
well, I got
pressure
the
cooker is life bougie. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
It's good.
I
It just
heard.
cuts the time
Yeah, I
for some
heard.
of your things that are going to be an all day thing
Right,
normally.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I don't have no little people that I don't have. It's just me and my oldest daughter. So I don't have
Mm-hmm.
nobody to cook like that for no
Yes.
more. Because even the little cooking that I'm doing, I started putting the food in baggies and freezing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that like during the rest of the week I could just take it out,
Yep.
throw it in the pot and heat it up and we got something to eat.
That's where it's at. I love having some prepped.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
I have to do with that stuff, especially like if I do a big stir fry and all that stuff, I have to bag that stuff up. It's cool though. I
Mhm.
like that because then I know that there's something in there for us to
Yes.
eat.
And you ain't got to spend $50 getting something from somebody's restaurant.
Right. Or even, okay, what I'm gonna cook.
That part too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do meal prepping, like freezer prepping, because I work. So when I get home, sometimes I don't feel like cooking. But if I have something prepped and I
Right.
can just take it out and it's only
Right.
going to take me 15 or 20 minutes to prep dinner, I could do that.
I
I
had
just don't
like
want to be in there for an hour.
right. I like that what you had did with the
Mm-hmm.
putting the meat and the onions and everything in the
Mm-hmm.
bag and mixing it up and then put that's cool.
I
I
do that.
told you that remind me. I never watched her, but my
Mm-hmm.
aunt Janie, anytime when she went big food shopping,
Mm-hmm.
she never put away her meat without
Mm-hmm.
seasoning and stuff and putting it in the bag. Like if
Yep.
you go in her freezer, everything, all her meat was in a bag, seasoned up,
Yep.
ready to cook.
Yep. Dump it in and go.
Hmm.
It's just this time of year, because it gets cooler. Well, it's gonna get cold here, but right now it's already cooler. We woke up to like 40 some degrees this morning. But I want comfort stuff, and comfort foods usually take longer. So like your soups and your stews and your whatever.
Right,
And like I said, just like fajitas and stuff like that, to not have to worry about, oh, if I make fajitas, I'm gonna have to slice up the meat and slice up the veggies, and that
right,
stuff already done, and
right, exactly.
it's just a lifesaver for me. And I got started doing that some years back, and after, once I started it, I was like, this is where it's at for me. In the summer, it don't bother me as much, but in
Right, right,
the fall and the winter, if I could throw it in a crock pot or a pressure cooker in the
right,
oven,
right, right.
that's life.
And I'm thinking about doing, even though I'm not a big meat eater, but I'm
Hmm.
thinking about doing like probably put them in like look smaller,
Hmm.
for two people type
Hmm.
of thing, because I'm trying to learn. I'm really struggling with this with the prepping. It's shelf stable food. I'm
Yeah.
not used to eating shelf stable food. I'm not,
Yeah.
ain't no pun, being bougie, but I didn't grow up like that.
Yeah.
Everything was fresh.
Yeah.
Like I just said in my video, the only thing I, used to, even if you went down to my mother pantry, the only thing down there was vegetables in a
Mine
can,
too. Yep.
was just the vegetables. So
Yeah.
I'm like, really, I'm doing this challenge where you take $25. You should have
I
seen me
saw
in
that.
that store struggling. I was looking at this stuff going, who eats this?
I
I'm
started to
looking
do.
at it.
I love challenges like that.
That's why I took it. I'm looking at this stuff going, I can't do it. Who eats this stuff?
Yeah.
So
Now
it's
my
gonna
Dollar
be
General sells fresh like produce and stuff. Does yours?
no, no.
Okay.
But what I'm gonna challenge my stuff with, at least try to find some shelf stable stuff we would eat out
I
of
was gonna
there.
say, yeah, make sure it's stuff you actually eat.
Yeah, there was a brand that was there that I was so happy to see it that I picked up, but I'm what I'm gonna do is go to different Dollar Generals because
Yeah.
I noticed watching the other videos, each one of them might have different things
Yep.
in it. So and it's not, I don't have to just do food either because
Yeah.
if it's too much a struggle, I'm gonna just stay off the food because yeah, I am not gonna, say I'm not getting nobody. What is that called? Vahina sausages for
Oh,
nothing.
mm-mm. No,
I might
no.
get some. I might. Um, I'm more likely I would just rather get some more canned vegetables before I
Mm-hmm.
get, something like that. But boy, I was looking at that stuff going, this
Yeah,
is not, this is not where it's at.
yeah. I agree. I I now do you do have their app, don't you? The Dollar General app.
Somebody told me about that, that
Make
the
sure you do
Apple.
your coupons because you could be
Oh,
making that
I got the
$25
one
go
on
further.
the receipt. So I put it right next to my bank card. I'm getting
Hmm.
up early tomorrow and I'm go go ahead and do it again for next week's video.
And
So I
use your
can
five
use
off
my
25.
so that's $5 more that
You
I
can
get
use
to
that.
use.
And you can use their store coupons, but let me tell you how they try to trick you. Because I used to be a couponer, so let me tell you how they try to trick you. If you use any digital coupons that they have on their app, you make sure they scan that $5 coupon first. Because if those digital coupons drop your total under 25, you won't be able
Oh,
to
you
use it.
won't get the
So
okay.
don't put your phone number in until they scan that $5 coupon.
Okay.
Then you put your number in to get your digital coupons.
Okay.
They be
And
trying to be slick out here in these streets.
I did pretty good because I was in there. I was in that dollar aisle first, and
I saw
I
that. I saw
kept
you had a lot of
counting.
dollar
I
stuff.
kept counting because you could you be done put so much stuff in there
Hmm.
before you know it. You'll be up to the. But I did. It was 24.81. Did real good.
Yep, yep.
So
And
now
like
I got the
that's
extra
good to
$5 so I could get a little more
that part.
now.
That part. And like you said, going to different ones, you might find different stuff,
Right.
different
Yeah.
choices, and they might have one in your in one of out of the other ones that has the fresh produce and stuff. Mine just did it, just got it
I
recently,
never
maybe in the
seen
last year or
the
two.
fresh produce. You know what I want to do? I want to look in the freezer to see if I find anything that I was hoping it was the dollar store because I think
Mhm.
I would have came out a little better
Oh
to
heck
do
yeah,
at the dollar store than Dollar General because
heck
even
yeah.
I could have got salmon at my dollar store.
Mine too. I've done frugal Fridays back in the day when I
Hmm.
was first doing my YouTube stuff. So it's those I think those videos might be 3 years old or so. But I used to do frugal Fridays and I would challenge myself to be able to spend $5 at the Dollar Tree to
Hmm.
make a actual dinner.
Right. And that's another thing that I learned from one of the preppers. He was saying, stop idle shopping and shop meals.
Hmm.
I was in there trying to put a meal together, but it was not happening. It
You
was
could have
not
you
happening.
could have did a meatless meal because you have pasta. I saw you picked up some
I pick up,
spaghetti.
yeah, I did
You could
pick
do
up
some
the
spaghetti
pasta.
sauce.
You know why I didn't? I seen it because I had bought a case and I
Ah,
think we still have like a case left, so we don't
mm,
go through that. And even though it could sit there for a while, but I didn't want to pick up. And then I'm kind of funny with stuff I pick up.
yeah, yeah.
You
'Cause that
know,
would have been,
nowadays it's like pick your poison though. But yeah,
yeah.
Urban said, "Wow, there's rules to couponing."
Girl, listen. Some stores be acting like, and I'm not gonna say they just act like that because I have seen some fraudulent coupon stuff. Back when I couponed, I always made sure I had good relationships with the store. So the stores knew me, the managers, most of the cashiers knew me by face or even name sometimes. I had some managers that even had my phone number and they would text me when deals were up there. But I also would see where people would make fake coupons to be able to get
Mm,
very expensive stuff for free or really cheap. And that makes it look bad for couponers who out there doing it legitly. So they try to find ways to make it harder for fraudulent things to happen.
well, they got
So like
game
every store
everywhere,
has their
even in the
own rules.
coupon game. Wow.
Mhm. Every store has their own rules. And most people don't know this. Your best deals, especially when it comes to household stuff like your cleaning supplies, your toiletries, stuff like that, is going to be in the drugstores. They're not going to be at Walmart. They're not going to be at Target. They're not going to be at none of them places. They're going to be at CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens.
Wow.
And
Okay.
you could literally walk out of there with hundreds of dollars of stuff for free easily if you really into the couponing heavy.
Right.
But yeah, the most of your best deals. I used to get baby diapers for $1.25 a pack.
Wow. And was that with one coupon or a couple of coupons?
It would be stacking different deals. So
Right,
usually,
right.
like, say CVS was one of my favorite ones to do it at. I might get a digital coupon from their little coupon center for
Okay.
$3 off, $15 in diapers, or $25 in diapers. And then
Right.
I have a diaper coupon, and then I also have some other kind of, diaper
Right, right,
coupon.
right.
So yeah, you
Hi,
just make it
Psalms
all stack.
146.
Hey, Psalms, popping in real quick. Just hey, girl. Um, and I know I missed some stuff because I seen a bunch of paragraphs of talk.
I know I
Might
was
say
watching, I
it's
know Blind got well, Laquita and somebody was talking back and forth.
okay. I've gotten back thousands in coupons with these coupon apps. Yes, I do use the apps as well. She's talking to Urban. I use right now, I only use Fetch because it's so easy. I don't have to do nothing but take pictures of my coupons. I mean, not my coupons, my receipts. The
Okay.
other ones I used to use like Ibotta and Checkout 59. But
Okay.
I hated that I had to clip what I was going to buy before I bought it because I would never remember to clip it.
Hmm.
So then I would buy it and then I would see that they had a rebate back for me buying the thing, but I can't do it after I buy it. You got to do it before you buy it. I was just like, so I stopped using those. I got some money back a couple times on them. I used
Hmm.
to use, it used to be Ebates. Now it's called Rakuten. I haven't
Okay.
used it since it's been Rakuten, but if you online shop, child, get them rebate checks back from Rakuten. Shop through them. A lot of the retailers offer percentages back on what you spend. So if you spend, say somebody has 10% back and you spend $100 at their store, you're going to get
Right.
$10 back from that
Okay.
store. And I want to say Racket back when it was Ebates, I think they would send the checks. They call them big fat check, once a month or once every 2 or 3 months. I forget, but I used to rack up on them because
Hmm.
if you're gonna be online shopping anyway, you
Right,
might as
right,
well get
right.
some cash back. The only thing these companies are doing by using these apps are finding out what
What
um,
you're shopping for?
not just that, what areas are buying more of a certain thing. So
Okay.
they will
Okay.
provide, like, if you notice, like, something stops getting carried in your stores,
Right.
but it was something that you liked, but
Right.
now they don't carry it anymore, it's because
Right.
it didn't sell that highly in your market.
Right. Okay. I
Yeah.
noticed that too. My girlfriend had to keep telling me when I came down here was certain things that I would go in the store looking for and they don't have down here. And she said, well, they buy according to the what is it, demographic?
Demographic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the what was the frozen pizza, one of the
Mm-hmm.
popular ones. But
Yep.
we used to get the veggie. I
Yep.
can't find a veggie one down here at all. They
Yep.
have all the other kinds except for the veggie.
Yep.
Can't find a veggie. Can't find a veggie Popeye.
Mm-hmm.
Um, none of that. Like everything is meat, 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 and
Yep.
some more meat. And I'm like, y'all don't eat no vegetables down here.
I agree. I'm the same way. I used to buy these, like the lean cuisine type entrees, but the one I used to like was by Smart Ones, which is,
Hmm.
and they used to have a veggie lasagna one. It was one of
Hmm.
my favorites, and they've stopped
Hmm.
carrying it in my area, and I still look forward to this day, hoping that one day I'm going to see it because
Right.
I don't like those entrees with meat in it. I like all the ones that just have
Yeah.
pasta or rice or
Um,
potato and some sauce or something.
haven't come across one, a veggie one. I don't think I am. I've been down here 7 years already.
Yeah, I'm better off trying to make it myself because they stopped making it and it was really good. It actually
Hmm.
was for a lean quote unquote entree.
Right, right. Crafty Leo said, I used to coupon. I had way too much stuff. I'm gonna see if I can find my old stockpile. I had to build shelves for the garage.
Crafty, I have like let me one, two, three, four. I have about 7 shelves in my basement. That's why I stopped couponing. I stopped couponing
Mm, wow.
before before the panini. I stopped couponing because I used to sell my stockpile. That's why I was couponing for diapers and stuff. I would get them for $1.25. I would resell them for $5 because
Okay.
they're not going to find diapers cheap. So
Right, right,
basically,
right,
regardless of the fact that I was reselling it, they're getting it at a price that they cannot beat.
right.
I used to sell my body washes. I would get Dove body wash for like less than $1. I would sell it for $3. You can't
Hmm.
find Dove for $3. It was $8, $7, $8 in the store,
Right,
but that just it got to the point where I was literally just couponing to stock my shelves, and
right,
that's where the fun goes. Like it was
right,
fun
right,
when I
right.
was just doing it, and when it becomes a job, I feel like that even with YouTube. That's why I'm like, if you're gonna be YouTube and make it fun, don't let it turn into a job for you, because once it turns into a job, I'm not gonna do it. I
Yeah,
don't know about anybody
exactly.
else.
Hey, TLC.
Hey TLC. But
She
I will walk away because I don't want to feel like I obligated to do
Right, right,
again.
right. Wilson, yeah. She said tip for online shop. Set up an account with Swagbucks and buy
Mm,
online gift cards for where you are shopping. You get points for the cards to redeem for cash. Then you can either use Swagbucks or what's that?
Rakuten.
Rakuten for
Hmm.
additional cash back.
Nice TLC. Look, y'all be. I see. I don't do a only online shopping I do is Prime, or maybe some seeds every now and again,
Right.
but mostly Prime. Except for when I'm getting my Renaissance Grandma seasoning because I had to go on Etsy for that. But when I was shopping at different stores, when when I had to get kids clothes and shoes, stuff, I was on that. Like I said, it was Ebates back then, so that's how long ago I used it before it turned to
Hmm.
Rakuten.
I know I wasn't too big on using coupons. That was that thing with just getting stuff like
Hmm.
until like BJ's. So this is when I was in New York. BJ's came to the Bronx, and
Hmm.
they would send you the coupon book in the magazine. I mean, in the mail. Me and my girlfriend would go through the magazine and see, what was in there that we use, and we would pull out the coupons and go and use them. But I try to do what we do, look at well, down here they used to, when I first got down here, you know how, I don't know if where you live at, how they send you all the sales papers for the supermarkets for the week.
Hmm.
When
Yes.
I first got down here, it was every Tuesday it would be in the mail, and then after a
Hmm.
while it just stopped.
Yeah.
I do get the digital one from the Ingles. From
Yeah.
Ingles, I get their digital one in the mail, and I'll check it. Like we do try to catch when they do the bread. Publix do the two for, I think bread is like 3.98 down here now.
Hmm.
So they'll do the two for the 3.98. So we try to catch that. But most of the stuff that we buy, I never really ever seen. Those brands.
Right.
The so-called healthy foods. I never seen them on sale.
Right. I will tell you the things that you see on sale, they run them in cycles. I can't remember if anybody remembers in the chat. Crafty, since you used the coupon, you might remember. Is it every 6 weeks? So if I see it on sale now, I'm probably going to see it on sale, the same brand item,
Right.
everything. It's
Okay,
it
you
might
just
be four.
remind me. That's
Mm-hmm.
true. You know, I never noticed it
Mm-hmm.
until I think because I shop at Whole Foods until
Mm-hmm.
Amazon bought them that
Yeah.
the Z soda that we
Mm-hmm.
drink
Yeah.
goes on sale. Now I have to see. I At first I thought it was every month, the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the
It
month
might be.
it would go on sale. But I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen it on sale lately, so I don't know if like how you saying every other month
It's
or
either
every
every 4.
2 months.
Yeah, it's like every 4 weeks or 6 weeks, something like
Right,
that.
right. So
Mm-hmm.
now I haven't caught it on like well when this the next month I'm gonna check for sure because I just noticed that what you said like
Yeah.
every certain amount of weeks it'll
Yeah.
go back on sale again.
Literally, like the exact same item from the exact same price. And the
Yeah,
exact
yeah,
same coupons will
yeah.
be available for it too. That's how I found
And
out
you
is
know,
my coupon.
with the prime, it's like automatic, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just knowing, like how you saying, knowing when the sale is to go
Yes.
and get the soda. But I noticed too, the same soda, I could get the case from Amazon cheaper
Mm-hmm.
than I could go in the store and
Did
buy
you
it.
say it's the Zevia?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I call it the Z soda because when I
I
used
knew
to
you. I
work.
thought you said Z soda. I knew what
When
you was talking about though.
I was working there when I first came down here, and I didn't know how to pronounce the name of the soda, so I had everybody in there calling it the Z soda. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, we had to put a code in it for it when people, you know, bought the single one. So we'd be like, "What's the code for the Z soda?"
Mm-hmm. I knew what you was talking about though. If anybody familiar with it, they would have known what you was talking about
Right,
because there's
right,
only one soda that starts with a
right.
Z. Yeah, I had tried it a long time ago. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I know. Most people don't. It don't have no sugar in it.
Mm-mm.
It don't have no coloring. My daughter friend I used to work with her when she tried to, she put it in her mouth and spit it back out. Like, what is this?
It's like it's just flavored carbon.
No, no, don't do us like that. Carbon soda is nasty. Oh my goodness, it's not that bad. I try to drink carbon soda. That is disgusting. It's not that. It's just for us that can't do a lot of something sweet, sweet. Like I could
Yeah,
drink regular soda, but I can
mm-mm.
also do this. But I can't drink
Yeah.
something that's sweet, sweet. Oh my goodness! If it's too sweet, I'm not gonna drink it.
That's
I
me. I
can't
can't
do it.
drink regular soda because regular soda is too sweet to me. But
Mm,
that's why I tried the Zevia back in the day because I don't.
okay.
The regular soda is just tastes like sugar to me. It
Yeah.
just it just tastes like you drinking sugar. I can't do it.
Yeah. Now, like if I drink a regular soda, that's how it tastes to me now because I'm so used to drinking the Z
Mm-hmm.
soda. But yeah,
Yep.
when I remember when I first started drinking, I was drinking the grape. And
Mm-hmm.
but I was drinking, putting with a straw. And then one day the soda wasn't hot, cold, so I got a cup of ice and poured it out, and didn't realize that it wasn't um
Color.
purple. I was like, wow, this soda don't have no cup. Not that I was expecting it, but
Right.
even though they making their own flavor, you still think they would put the color. But none of
Yes.
the sodas have color. The
They're all
orange don't
clear.
have one. The cola, all of them are clear. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay,
Yep.
but
No, they're not horrible. They just don't have no sugar in it.
right, right, yeah, that's it. Well, not
Yeah.
enough, not as sweet as our palates are for sweetness, because
Yeah.
they're called Zevia because they use stevia to sweeten it, but it's not. I guess they don't not putting so much in it where
Yeah.
it's over sweet.
Yeah. Because stevia is what you got to be careful with too, because it could be too sweet.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they don't
Mhm.
overdo it. Where
Yeah, they
like
don't.
where it tastes like regular soda.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to I've tried it before. What they say? Hey there, crafty TLC. Thought I was the only one that didn't like the Z soda. That's Laquita. It's definitely acquired taste. It's just like probably having any of those things. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that do like a they're not flavor, but like the carbonated
Right.
waters. Yeah, because even those, like, it's an acquired taste. But I don't usually need to have the bubbles either. So I'll usually do like teas or something, but I'll just add. I like Truvia more so than Splenda or any of those. Like I like stevia. I actually grew stevia this year,
Okay.
and stevia grows really well. I
Okay.
didn't really give it a lot of attention, and it did its thing. So I'm gonna definitely be growing it again and again and again. And
Okay.
you could just dry it, dehydrate it, and
Hmm.
blend it and make your own.
That's what I
Flavor.
have. That's the gadget that I need to get. But I wanna move because I don't have a lot of counter space.
Yeah,
So to keep getting all of these appliances, I don't have nowhere to put them. But I want to
yeah,
get the dehydrator.
yeah. I got stuff in all kind of places that they don't probably aren't typically at. And a matter of fact, in my office, I have four shelves in here that y'all don't see because of how I have the camera
Right, right. The camera facing. Yeah, we all
facing.
be in the house in the corner.
Because when I started canning, I was like, I need somewhere to put all my jars. I've been canning stuff, so I bought a bookshelf to be able to put my
Hmm.
canning stuff on, which I do have room if I wanted to set it up downstairs in the basement, but I don't know.
Hmm. Laquita said,
Um,
"Yep, the those deals are on a cycle. So once you with the math for what you like, you're good. Makes budgeting easier."
yeah, it does. And once you get pay attention to those cycles, because like I said, it's the same. So once you catch what it is,
Right, right,
you'll know all the time when your stuff that you're used to getting is
right,
going to be
right.
on the deal.
I think that's I'm gonna watch too with the bread because it looked like you said I'm gonna see
Hmm.
so then I'll know it's coming up and then
Hmm.
I'll be ready for it when it get here. Not like we just happen to walk in the store and find out, oh, the bread is on sale again. So now that you said that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for that, but pay
Yep.
attention more closely to that now.
Yep. It's on a cycle. It's funny because, like I said, I didn't know that before a coupon, but when I was couponing, somebody told me that I was like, "What?" Literally, it is. And even the coupons that come in, the ones you were talking about that you used to get on
Right,
Tuesdays,
right,
those same coupons come out on a cycle. You might get a
okay,
few new ones here and there,
right,
but
right,
some of the same ones will always come out, like Unilever stuff, like your
okay,
what is Unilever, like Irish Spring and
okay,
St. Ives and stuff like those body washes and like
right,
certain food items that fall the same time. And then the P&G is like the Tide and the Gain and all that.
okay.
Those coupons will fall at the same time every single
I'm gonna have
month.
to when I got a little book. I'm gonna have to write it down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Crafty said she never tried the Z soda. She might, as long as it don't have Splenda. No, it no, they use stevia.
Stevia.
They
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, that's why it's called Zevia. They use stevia, no
Yeah.
Splenda.
And I tried it way back when it was fairly new. So I
Okay.
probably should try it again. It's probably better now because they be perfecting the.
Oh, okay. You tried it when it first came out.
Yeah, it
This
was
was my
very
one.
new.
I was just drinking it these past 7 years. This is some I
Okay.
started drinking when I first came down here,
Now, what state are you in, Bougie?
South Carolina.
Oh, okay. So you were Best Yet is at
Mhm.
in South
Mhm.
Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I crafty. Oh, that's Teresa. I look at. I think that's supposed to say the expired dates and go back and just before the expiration date to get the deals. Okay. But yeah, that's another. But to me, budgeting is just another prepping tool. That's why I
Mhm.
started talking about it because I'm like, the things that we want to prep for or like
Right.
purchase as preps, we can't do that if we ain't got the money.
Right.
But we can find the money when we're budgeting to do
Yeah.
those things. And look, I be seeing Bougie and all these different the different channels and stuff I be in. So she be looking at a lot of the same things. We don't be just looking at gardening and um,
No, I'll be
prepping.
all over the
We be
place.
looking at all types of prepping methods.
Yeah,
So
I'm more like a like people be like, you know this person and that person? Nope, because a lot of the prepping channels they talk too much for me.
I agree.
I can't do all that talking. I'm like
Yeah,
we need to learn some skills out here.
that
Show
part.
me something. Show me how to do
Yes,
something.
yes.
Teach me something a little. An idea or something. Or I know we have to stay up with the current events. Like I have people that I listen for that, but when it comes to prepping, show me a skill. Let's learn. Let's learn how to do something.
I agree. I don't like the channels that are just to me that it's almost like fear mongering. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
only
feel
all they
fear
talk
porn.
about is you need to prep. But how?
That part.
But how?
That
You
part.
know? And it's like, well, if you're not prepping, you're gonna be, this, but you're not telling me, you just all you're doing is ranting.
Right.
You're not,
And then
so yeah.
you got the list people. Oh my goodness. You will have 1,000 lists. You hear me?
Yeah,
The top 10 things this you need to get, the top 10 that thing you need to get.
yeah. I
Um,
like I like visuals. So I like seeing, like, when I started following Triple and she would show different firearms. I'm trying to say it right so
right,
people
right,
don't be
right.
tripping.
Hmm.
But she literally demonstrated why this one, what it does,
Right,
took it apart, put it together, why she thought
right.
this was good. That's what I
Exactly.
want to see. Like,
Exactly.
help me to understand, because if I'm not familiar with them, this
Right.
is helping me.
I was too tickled to find her too. Just the
Hmm.
fact that she was a woman and she
That
trained.
part.
And I ran through all her videos, and when I seen that she was training women to shoot with one hand, I said, "Oh yes, I'm gonna hang
Hmm.
on to her."
Yes, I agree. And then when I found my fly family, I was like, I love their content
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's teachable. It's not just we out here doing this. It's why it's being safe. It's all the things. It's not just
Right.
being out here
Right.
reckless. It's doing it the right way. And these are the laws. And these are some things
Right.
to protect yourself. Like, I didn't know you could get insurance that protects you if you have to make
From
a decision in your home that
to
ends
defend
somebody.
yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
I would have never known that. But that was something that came out in Alive, and I was like, that's good to know. Matter of fact, it was Tarsha. She talked about it this week.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know until I went to my first firearm show, and on the
See?
way out, the lady had a table, and we stopped and we listened to her and we signed up for it. That's how we had it. So I actually had mine because she was saying that not only do it protect you from using a firearm, but even if you get in a fist fight or whatever you use to
Mhm.
defend yourself with, they will still, got you. So
Exactly.
we was like, okay,
Listen, that's things you need to know.
yeah,
Like, it goes beyond just having the protection of the firearm. You also want to protect yourself of liability for things that, when you're just trying to protect your family, that you may have to deal with.
right, right.
So that's good information. That's stuff that I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I like to do the hands-on. So most of the stuff you'll see me, I'm like, come on, I want to do something like the cast iron window. It's not really about me cooking. It's
Hmm.
about me learning how to cook in them pots.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
my mother never cooked in them. I never seen none of
Oh,
my aunts cook in them. I was surprised. Like everybody, like, my great grandmother and I
that's,
never seen them cook in those
but
pots.
you were in New York, right? Were you born and
Yeah,
raised in New York? Yeah, that
yeah,
it might be more of a southern thing.
yeah. But they Southern. They from down
Oh,
here.
okay. Okay.
They from what's it Dunbar. They from Dunbar, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I was surprised that they didn't at least one or something, but they my mother never used the pots or nothing. So I actually just do it to get accustomed of how to cook in
Hmm.
them that way. And then the fire thing I do because it's important.
It is
know how
important.
to start a fire. And these are like skills that nobody have ever taught us. And if we
Exactly.
don't learn them ourselves, we ain't nobody gonna teach us. So
Exactly. And
Stacy
that is a
built.
skill we need to know. I
Yeah,
agree.
because that was, like I'm in a book club and we're reading books on people that were in other countries where they had a collapse, and they're telling their story about what happened and stuff. And in the middle of winter and trying to keep heat and not even just starting a fire, keep a fire going is not
Yes.
as easy as it look. On
Mm-hmm.
just me the other day when I finally did the char cloth up there in that grill, trying to keep that little fire in the grill going just to make.
Mm-hmm.
I literally ran out of the little sticks I had, and good thing I had like what they call it, the bush right there
Yeah.
where it wasn't scary enough for me to just walk to the edge and, and pick up some twigs
Yeah.
and stuff to put in the fire. And I'm like, wow, what
Yes.
I see why they say when they say you have to keep feeding the fire,
Yes.
that is no joke.
Yes.
That fire will go out on you like that.
That's true. And I saw also where Carbon was, she did a video teach you how to make candles. Like
Oh,
that's
that was so cool.
that's a
The
good
three, the
good
three
thing to know
different
how to
ways,
do.
the four different ways she showed. Look, how she took the crayon and
Mm-hmm.
just lit the crayon. I heard about the crayons, but actually seeing somebody light one, then
Yes.
somebody talking about it,
Yes.
and then she lit all of them just to
Mm-hmm.
show you that they
I
are. But
I
that's what I'm
like that
talking
though.
about. Hands-on stuff like you talking about we can do this, but can we actually do it?
Yes.
So that's why I like what I'm thinking of deciding to do, like because we got this thing where we say practice with your preps.
Yes.
So with the cast iron Wednesday, I'm thinking you got these ideas of how you would want to cook if there is no electricity or anything, but you got to put those things to practice to see if they
Yeah,
even will work.
that's true.
Because you don't want to wait until the time comes and you need to do it and find out it doesn't work.
That's
It's
true.
not working out like you had it in your
That's
head to
true.
work.
That's true. You should probably test them out every so often too. Almost just like testing out different things in your home, like your smoke detector and your
Right, right.
yeah. That's probably a good yeah. That's probably a good thing to do.
Or even how and what you're going to cook. Because
Yeah.
once we don't have, because we don't realize how much electricity we use, and once you don't have it, you have to learn how to conserve whatever
Yeah.
energy that you're using. Because when I first did the collab where we did the SHTF and what kind of meal we was gonna make, I
Yeah.
used my solar battery to use the hot plate. And somebody asked me in the comment, wouldn't you cook the food in your refrigerator first? Absolutely not. You know how much
Mhm.
energy you would have to use to cook raw food
Mhm.
using a battery?
Mhm.
No way. I would rather use the battery to keep the refrigerator and the freezer going than to try to
Yes.
cook all of that food. And you got to pick your poison because either it's going to spoil in the refrigerator if you don't have nothing to keep the fridge and freeze going.
Yes.
Because even if you cook it all, it's going to spoil. You're not going to be able to eat all of that food. So you're
Yes.
going to have to pick your poison.
That's true. That's
So
very
my,
good
my
advice.
thing is the best thing for you to do is have a battery to keep your freezer and your refrigerator going so that
Mhm.
you don't lose the food
That's true.
because you're not going to be able to eat it all. That you don't even eat that
I
much
couldn't
food on a regular basis. So
listen. I couldn't. I have an upright freezer, and that thing is packed.
right,
That if I tried to eat, there's no way.
right. It's not
There's
going to
no way.
happen. It's going to spoil either way.
Mhm.
'Cause if you even try to cook all of it, you're going to use too much energy trying to cook all of that.
Look, power and energy,
Right.
physical, physical energy.
Exactly. So I said, no, no, you can't,
Yeah.
no, this is where you're going to be doing less. You have to think
Yes.
in a whole totally different way than you just being able to just plug something up and and just doing whatever you want to do. Hey, juicing with Jay.
Yeah. Hey Jay, and I saw my cousin coming early. I don't know if she's still here. Hey Brooke. But yeah, I agree. Thought I missed something. Dehydrating greens. Oh, for like smoothies, that's cool. And other veggies to use as smoothie. That's cool, Felicia. I don't make smoothies as much when it gets cold outside because I like mine really, really cold. And if I'm already, the cold outside makes me cold. I don't need the smoothie, but I love
Yeah,
smoothies.
I bought some stuff to make smoothies. I'm not a smoothie person either. My kids like to do that stuff. I had just bought the blender for them.
Yeah,
They used to make a lot of smoothies when they were
yeah,
younger.
they're good. But yeah, if it's a nice warm day,
That's a
but it's
good
hard to
idea,
cook.
Teresa. That I have a bottle of water in my freezer too, and I have bags of ice. You got bags of ice in your freezer,
I
Gina?
don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
put a couple of bags of ice and just leave them there so in case the power goes out, the ice will help keep the freezer cold.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
even water bottles, whatever you could get in there, because even water bottles, those will work too. I got a 1 liter bottle in my
Mhm.
freezer,
Mhm.
and then I just got ice bags. I had when I first got the freezer, I got the ice bags and put them on the bottom, so they sitting on the bottom of the freezer, and everything else is on top of them.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that because like I said, I have the upright kind, so it's like the
Hmm.
one
I
that
know what
opens.
you're talking about, the refrigerator. The fridge one that look like a refrigerator.
Yes,
Yeah, I used to have.
and
My mother has it now. We had one of those too.
yeah, I love it because I don't lose stuff. When I had the chest kind, I would lose stuff
Yeah,
and
because
try
you
to
got to
find
dig
it
up
once
in
I got.
there and find there. Yeah,
Mhm.
I wanted the upright too, but the space I'm in, I just
Yeah,
got a small chest for right now.
yeah, yeah. I definitely understand that. Um, the bottom of the deep freeze is lined. Okay, with 2 liter bottles. That's awesome, Tina.
Mhm. Mhm.
Helps to cause and short. Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
She said helps also because she's short, so she can reach herself. I've seen people do baskets like those Dollar Tree baskets to kind of keep things organized so they don't lose
I
stuff in
seen
there.
that too. I seen somebody,
Hmm.
but that was with the well, see, I have the small one. I would have to find baskets that fit my freezer. But I seen
Yeah.
somebody with one of the long ones do that. And like
Oh,
he categorized everything and
yeah.
put the same things in the one basket. So when he could just pick the stuff up. I said, "Oh, that's
Yes.
so mad cool."
I've seen that. And then they use colors so they would know what stuff based on the color of the basket.
Okay, so like the
Because
beef,
you know
you
how you
could
can
get
do
a
the
red
color ones.
basket, and the chicken,
And the
you could
blue
get a
one and the
yellow
green.
basket,
Hmm.
or the blue. Yeah, I guess you could go the cutting board colors. You could do it according to the cutting board cutters.
Hmm. Yep. So I have seen that. But guys, I'm gonna start wrapping this up. We've been on over 2 hours, but I did want to get on and see how everybody did, who did do a budget for September, how that went for you, because it doesn't always go great. And I've been doing my budgets for a long time now, and they still don't always go as planned. And that's just like,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that something was wrong or with the way you did it or anything, because I budget my some of my utilities based on what they are the month prior because I don't
Right.
have my bill yet.
Right.
So if I get my next bill and it's more,
You know
that's
what I do? I over budget for mine.
mhm,
I just put 180.
okay.
It's never that. So it
Hmm.
will always be less. I just over budget for it.
Okay. Yeah. So you can always do that to kind of have that wiggle room for if it's
Yeah.
going to be.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I just play around with like my other stuff that's like my I call them my cash envelope type stuff.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like if I'm putting money away, like I said, for car maintenance, house maintenance, my kids well, my I should say my kid because my oldest one is grown, but my daughter's clothes. I also do one for
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
grandson. So, like, if I want to buy something for him, I take from his money that I put away for him. But for all those things, and then I might play around for as far as how much I put in them. Might be
Right.
$10,
Right.
might be $5, might be $20. It's just based on how I'm doing my budget at that time. But I'm telling you guys, if you start budgeting, just start where you're at. You don't have to be perfect at it,
Mhm.
but I'm telling
Mhm.
you, you're going to see the value in doing it.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
is so much value in doing it. You will be less stressed.
Mhm.
Something can happen that could be life changing at the moment, but you won't feel the stress of it because you will have some things already lined up in place so that you're okay.
Mhm.
And that's important. And those are I just feel like that's something that's not really taught and to us when we're coming out in this world to be adults.
Yes.
Mona said, when the power goes out, put a still pot with ice in the fridge. It'll keep it cold. Okay,
Mhm.
I can see that because it'll take it a long. It's almost like those Yeti things.
Mhm.
It'll take it a long time for that to start
Right.
melting. Unicorn lady says she uses a spreadsheet like you, bougie.
Yeah, that's what I do too,
Excel.
the unicorn lady. I
Mhm.
use a spreadsheet.
And that's what is. I think it's more important, not so much of what your bills and stuff. Part of it is, but like Unicorn lady says, she uses it to watch what she spends.
Right.
Seeing what
That,
you're
yes.
spending
Yes.
on the non-necessity items will reel you in.
Yes.
It'll reel you in.
It's more like a spending budget.
hmm
Mhm.
Like if you ever have been one of those people who get that income tax check and then you be like, "Where did my money go?" You don't have nothing to show for it.
That's how I used to be, but now I could tell you where every penny went.
That's why I was just about to say budgeting is gonna let you know where that went. And you're gonna
Mhm.
make sure when you budgeting too, you care about where your money's going. So
Right.
you won't just willy nilly go out there and spend money. You're gonna want to make sure, like when you spending it, it's on something that you really need or really want,
Right. Exactly.
and you just won't just carelessly spend. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. And we'll talk about it more because I think if it's talked about, more people will jump on board to do it
Do it.
and see the benefit thereof. And like I say all the time, each one teach one. So when
Right.
you like the next person who's benefiting from it, they're going to tell other people.
Right. Like
Because
I
that was me.
appreciate you talking about it because you don't have too much adults talking about
Mm-mm.
and make it easy. Like I have a simple simple when I first was looking at system that's already made, it was too complicated and they wanted to connect with your bank and but it
Yeah.
wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So this is why I
Mm-hmm.
went with the spreadsheet because I could fix it how I wanted to do it.
Yes. Yes. And if you not like want to do it on a computer or something, when I
You do
first
on
started doing
paper.
my budget,
Mm-hmm.
I used a spiral notebook like the ones you use for high school.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
what I
would
started out
literally
in the
write down.
notebook.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
I would literally just write down what I had to what I knew were my expenses.
Right.
I would write down what I knew I was bringing home pay wise.
Right.
Then
Right.
I would just add and subtract on that piece of paper. So you could,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
if
how
you're
I
one of those
started.
people who like to see
Mm-hmm.
it that way, do it that way. They have apps now that you could just input those figures,
Right.
and the
Yep.
app will do the stuff for you
And
too.
it helps you save money and all of that stuff.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to do it nowadays, but I think that it just needs to definitely be a conversation, and especially for our youth that's coming up, because we probably have made a lot of the financial mistakes. So
Right.
now we could teach our kids so that they don't make those mistakes,
Right. Right.
and so they have a better foot up in this world, because this world is built for us to be in debt.
Yes, it is. It's a
It
debt
really
system
is.
that we that the our country runs on is a debt system.
It is. I mean, just think about your credit score. Like, I talk about how you can get your credit score to increase, but honestly, the way to get your credit score to increase is to have debt.
Is to get in debt.
You
Isn't
have to
that
have debt
crazy?
to even have credit activity. You
or
don't
if
have
you
to
don't
be in
have no
debt.
debt, they looking at you funny like, why you don't have
Yes.
no debt?
Yes, you don't have to be in debt, but you have to have debt. You have to
Right,
have credit. You
right,
have
right.
to have, and you
Right,
have to have multiple sources. So you can't just have credit cards that are revolving. You also have to have something that's an installment. And then you got to show that you could be responsible in different ways. So you got
right.
to have different types of credit. And I'm like, this world, when I realized that, I was like, this world is built for us to be in debt.
Yep, it sure is.
It's built that way. That's just really amazing. And they set us up from the jump. They'll catch
Yep,
you at
yep,
17, 18.
yep.
You want a credit card? Yeah, you'll get approved.
Mm-hmm. Sure
They
enough.
start you off with it. What Jay, a unicorn lady said, mistake number one I made is not knowing about the 401k. If you are working somewhere that has it, yes. I did that when I worked for the mortgage company, unicorn lady. I did not put into my 401k. I was a single mom at the time, and my thought process was I can't afford it. I need every penny I make to be able to support my house.
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford not to. You're not gonna miss it.
You
Honestly, had
sure
I
not.
been putting into it, it wouldn't have changed my paycheck too much because it's pre-tax. It's taken out prior to your check being taxed, which means your check is going to be taxed on less net income. You won't miss it. And when I went to the job I'm at now, because I've been there since I left the mortgage company, I remember when I was, you had to be there like 12 months, believe, before you could put into the 401k, and the company doubles whatever you put in. So if I put in 100, they'll put in two.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the guy who did our payroll coming to me when I was eligible, and he said, "You're going to be putting in the max to your 401k, which is five that they'll match 5% of your check.
Mm-hmm.
They'll match up to 5%." So he said, "You're going to be doing it at minimum that."
Right.
And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "I just want you to know." He didn't even ask me, but you know what? I'm grateful for that because he knew how important it was, but how sometimes people tell themselves they can't do it.
Right, right.
So having somebody who wasn't going to let me not do it, what that was a good thing.
Yep.
That was
Mm-hmm.
a good thing. And now I know how important it is to do that because you're not going to miss it. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have a 401k program or whatever it might be at your company, it may not be called a 401k, but it works the same. Um, be putting into that. Especially most companies match it at least whatever you put. So they match it 1 to 1. But if you have a company matching it 2 to 1, you definitely want to take advantage. I know there's not a lot that do that, but even if it's 1 to 1, they giving
Yeah.
you a free whatever to what
Right.
you put in there. So you put in 100, they put in 100. That's a good deal. So definitely do that. That was a mistake I made too, Unicorn Lady. And I was with that mortgage company for 4 years. So for 4 years, I was not putting anything into my 401 or into my retirement period. So that's definitely something you should be taking advantage of. Student credit card, no. Yes, Jay. That's what I was talking about. They be giving these kids credit cards, no job, no nothing. The system is built to keep their foot on your neck,
Mm-hmm.
and you to have no leg to stand on because you just starting off bad, and it's not right. But yeah. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much, Bougie, for coming up,
Thank
and
you for
Savvy.
having
I
me up. I
appreciate you,
appreciate
girl.
it. I love talking about the budget.
I appreciate you and for coming up, and yeah, and I like that they got a different more than one perspective on it too, because you do your budgeting through using Excel to populate. You just populate your budget, and then it'll do the math for you.
Right.
And for those of y'all who are savvy with Excel, and Excel is not hard to use, so you
No,
probably
it's
can go
not.
online and learn how to use
No.
it. It's not hard. Um, that's a way you can do that and let that do it for you every month. Know where all your money's going. Know where your money's
Mm-hmm.
going. Know how much you have, because
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy for these dang on what are they, scammers, to get you
Mm-hmm.
out of something if you ain't paying attention to what's in your account.
Right, right.
So pay attention, y'all. But I appreciate all y'all for sticking with me for this long. And hopefully I'm not saying what's next Friday. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but I'll probably be on here. We'll talk about something. But I'll be on here for something. So thank you guys. And I will, I don't know if you guys know that Beth Shed is actually going live tonight. She ain't been live in a while.
She
She's
has that.
playing some kind
Okay.
of game. I don't remember
It's
what she's
supposed to be
playing.
a surprise.
Yeah, because I don't remember what she's playing.
Okay.
She put it on her community page that she's going live.
Okay.
I figured, oh no, I think I know. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay. All
It's
right.
gonna be so. Look, people gonna be in probably in the chat. It's gonna be interesting. I remember when
Okay.
she kind of told me she thinking about doing. I was like, girl, you trying to start a riot. But it'll be fun. So hopefully I'll see you guys later for
Yeah.
that. And I think that there's a couple people probably live now. So I'll probably be seeing y'all in these YouTube
In
streets like
YouTube
I always
streets.
do.
Mm-hmm. Later, everybody.
Yes, later. See y'all later. Thanks, Bougie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Later.